I think it's about that time for us. I think it's about time for us to put on another show for you right here on NATV Network. NATV Network. All the tubes have been cranked and ready to go. We're going to be talking about narcissistic abuse. Susie's coming in just a little bit. Everybody's getting situated. Feel free to enjoy what's on the screen. I'm telling you right now, we've been putting some things together for you. We've been pretty busy behind the scenes, and we're just getting started before the year is up. You're going to love 2025. Thank you so much, Sammy, for being a new member of the channel, $5.99. And you will be surprised what we've got coming for you. And as a member of the channel, we got some things we're going to tell you so that you can be a part of our live events that will be taking place on a regular basis in 2025. I like that song. Let's do it again. Okay, Mia, Marianne. I know because Susie told me. I see Susie right now. She's getting ready. She's smiling. So hello, Marianne, and Gloria is here as well. Appreciate you coming in. Susie will be sharing a lot of information tonight, everybody. 10 different things that you need to keep in mind. And if we still have the power after those 10, we have 10 more to share with you that we haven't told you about. If you still want to stick around for that or watch it later. Thank you, Gloria, for being here. Ken is in the house as well. Each and every one of you. We appreciate you a great deal. So much. The audience is cheering for you. No telling what we're going to do. Tonight, we're just kind of improvising, you guys, and hanging out with this information and a number of other things we're going to talk to you about. We truly want your support for Susie's new channel, SZTV Network. So feel free to make sure you show your love by subscribing to Susie's channel. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see here. I think we got everything in line. Let's bring Susie in.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm fascinated looking at all these great photos, all these wonderful memories. This was a surprise.
I'm always full of surprises.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
I got some videos that you sent me. I have to clear them with you, but that we could always show the audience at some point.
I think you have some of me learning how to surf. That was fun. That was something I never thought I would do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sir. Yes. I'll join in on that one and the ATV thing, but I'm not. Everybody, you'll have to watch it. We'll put it together before the next show.
All my adventures in Costa Rica.
Kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Totally cool. What you got for us today?
Oh, today we're going to be tackling a powerful and important topic. How to outwit a narcissist in 10 steps. So if anyone has ever had to deal with a narcissist, you know how manipulative, charming, and controlling they can be. Oh boy, do I ever. But don't worry, because by the end of this episode, you'll have practical strategies to protect yourself and to stay in control. That was a hard one for me to learn how to control myself. At first I would, I was so confused. I wanted to explain it. Explain this to me. Why are you behaving this way?
Right.
Why are you manipulating me and trying to control me? And that didn't work. And then I'd get angry and then I'd argue back. And that just made the situation a lot worse. So definitely if you're in one of these relationships and someone is manipulating you and you're aware of it and they're charming you and controlling you, the worst thing you could do is to argue with them. What it says here is there's 10 steps to outsmart a narcissist. And the first one is to recognize the signs of narcissism. First, let's start with awareness. You can't outwit a narcissist. No, they're slick. They're really good at what they do. If you don't recognize what you're dealing with, narcissists tend to have an inflated sense of self-importance, lack empathy, and constantly seek validation. Spot these behaviors early on so you know what you're up against. That is key, because if we know what we're dealing with, it's a lot easier to defuse a situation and not let them get the upper hand on you. Step 2, don't take the bait. Narcissists love to provoke reactions. Boy, do they. I remember mine when I was married. He would know the exact thing to say. It would be, the worst times when company was coming. He wanted, I would have everything, trying to make everything perfect and have a nice family day. And he would just set me off right before anyone would come in, or he would, wait for me in the kitchen as I was preparing things as my guests were coming. And he would just say the most outlandish things in the weirdest times, something from the past, something that would trigger me. He knew exactly how to get me going and upset me. And I never would argue back. I would just go inside. I would inside myself. I would not have fun. It would be fake. I pretended the rest of the night to have a good time, but and the whole time he would glare at me, and he kept me under his thumb. He kept control that way. It's very, very upsetting when I think back to all that I tolerated, but I didn't know these 10 steps. I didn't know any steps. I didn't know what I was dealing with. And now that I know, at first, I would look back and be like, "Wow, everything was deliberate. Everything was calculated. Everything was to break me down and make me feel empty." It's very disturbing how manipulative these people are. So I'm going to continue. The key here is to remain calm and collected, right? We don't want to give them any fuel. We don't want to feed into their drama. They love drama. They love the the abuse that they're instilling in you and to you. And they love to make you look like a fool. They love to get you off your game. Step 3, set clear boundaries. Boundaries are essential when dealing with a narcissist. Be firm and clear about what you will and won't tolerate. If they try to guilt trip you or manipulate you into crossing your limits, stand your ground. I remember the guilt trips. "Oh, you don't love me anymore. Oh, what did I do?" Um, all these ridiculous little things he used to say to make me feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for these people. Please don't. They really are just gaslighting you at this point. They are manipulating you. They don't care. They don't feel sorry for themselves. It's all an act. It's all a game. Step 4, stay emotionally detached. I have to say, I sadly learned how to detach to the point where I could probably, at this point, detach from anyone or anything. It's it's something I didn't realize I did. But like I was saying, those times when we were having company and I'd be in the kitchen preparing and he would start with me, I dissociated from the whole situation and just put on my smiley face and pretended everything was okay. That's so hard to come to terms with, because I was acting fake at that point, pretending I was okay. Mia says, you can't really have boundaries because they find a way around them constantly. Oh, they sure do. And the more I tried to set boundaries, the more he would go around them, or the more he would go behind my back. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, because this I dealt with almost on the daily with this person. Yeah, you had to pretend to stay safe. Absolutely. You have to pretend they didn't say the nasty thing in the kitchen. You have to pretend they're not glaring at you, threatening you. You have to pretend they're not talking behind your back, trying to turn everyone against you, and pretend they're not making you feel crazy, confused, depressed. Pretend everything was okay. It's not easy to do. Um, Mia, I know you know this all too well, sadly. The harsher he would get. Yes, they get pretty brutal, when you don't bite the bait, take the bait, right? When you don't amp it up, when you don't give them the power over you, they start to get angry. Be firm and clear about what you will and won't tolerate, right? That's really important, and it's not always easy. Narcissists feed off our emotional energy. They want us to react, they want us to care too much or be hurt by their actions. One way to outwit them is to remain emotionally detached. Yeah. But I guess in my case, after 25 years, I believe that's why it's so easy for me to disconnect. I I have a hard time, um, to this day, staying connected to anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, anything that at this point is like a red flag. I find for the first time in my life, I'm actually able to spend time alone and not feel like I'm missing out on something. I don't know if anyone ever felt like they were missing out, because these people, these narcissistic, unhealthy people just take over. They have to be the life of the party. They have to be the center of attention. And I, like many other women that I speak to, I know we just stay in the shadows, stay in the background, which is it's not healthy, and that's what causes us to be able to detach even from people that love us, you know? I think when they start smearing our names and making up lies, it's easier at that point to just stay away from everyone. Yeah, I know I do, Mia. Thank you. I've got you. You've got me too. Mia, God bless you and thank you, because you check in on me pretty much every single day. And us women from the women's group, the Center for Enrichment and Empowerment, Education and Empowerment. I'm sorry, they changed the name on me. It used to be the women's group. Now they help men and women, so they changed the name. But we met there after I was terribly abused. It was 4 years ago, and I met the women from the group, and they were the first stepping stone in helping me to feel safe, to get to safety. They helped me to understand that I wasn't alone, that these things sadly happen to other people. I never knew that other women were abused the way I was. Um, Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of unpacking all the years of being treated badly, and together as a group, we all support each other, and that's the main reason why I am doing what I'm doing with women's shelters, and listening to their stories and supporting them, because I wanna give back what was given to me. I wanna help these women who feel so alone. I wanna help these women who have nowhere to go. Yes, I was living in my car when I met the women in the women's group. Um, this is why I'm so excited to be selling my merchandise, because the money that I make off this merchandise I'm going to be using to help women in shelters. I want to provide women with backpacks, like I always had, a bag ready to go with just basic necessities. I've had to leave the house, and I know, speaking to women in the group and women in shelters, there's times when you have to escape. I've left my house with no shoes, like maybe a pair of shorts and a tank top. No, nothing. You just run. You just run. Eventually, I had a bag ready, and I would grab that bag. So it's so important that we do support these women in these domestic violence and narcissistic abuse, sexual assault shelters. If you want to know more, please, if you need help, if I can help you, please don't ever hesitate to contact me. You can email me at Suzie with a Z podcast show at Gmail. You can get in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram as well. I'm going to continue this with being emotionally detached and how they do want us to react. They want us to care too much about them, as I was saying. But one way to outwit them is to remain emotionally detached. Don't let their actions or words get under your skin. Easier said than done, but it is possible. I am finally to the point where if I run into him or see him out or whatever, I could just, ugh, talk about detach. I just look away. I walk away, drive away. If I had to, I would run away. And it feels so good when you can finally get to the point where you don't even give them a second thought, good, bad, or indifferent. You just walk away. Step 5 in these 10 steps to ward off a narcissist, right? To outwit them. Step 5 is use logic, not emotion. When engaging with a narcissist, use logic rather than emotion. Yeah, Mia's saying, heaven help us, the children. Yeah, the children, they are used against us to help keep us in line. So right there, if they start telling the kids or the grandkids or the neighbors or people you work with how bad you are, crazy you are, don't engage. Don't defend yourself. Don't. The truth will come out, I promise you. Um, They don't deserve our reaction. They don't deserve a response. It's not easy at first to not be emotional, to think, to stop, take a breath, and think. They struggle with rational, fact based conversations because they thrive on emotional chaos. Boy, do they. They, I don't think these people ever have a normal thought. I don't think they can have just a regular day without causing some kind of commotion. I remember going into the store, and it would be like wherever we went, he had to be the center of attention or ask someone something or meddle into someone's business or cut the line or park in a no parking zone. It was always something. It's ridiculous. Always chaos. Hey, gorgeous Wells. Thanks for being here. So, continuing, stick to the facts and avoid letting them steer the conversation towards emotional drama. Yeah, it's doable, takes practice, and just keep trying. Just keep trying, in your head. I would count in my head when he would be carrying on instead of responding. I remember years ago, I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time. I would say the alphabet It's almost like, I don't know if anyone remembers the honeymooners. I'm totally dating myself right now, but I remember Ralph was married to Alice Cramden.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's like,
Is that in black and white? I don't know if I remember it.
no, but you gotta
I can't
hear me
believe you
out on
just
this
brought that
one.
up. We were talking about that the other day, and you just dropped that in there. Okay, these
So
young people have no idea what you're talking about.
I know they don't, but I'm gonna tell them. So
Okay,
Ralph is
go ahead. Go
married
ahead.
to Alice, right? So every time he would get annoyed, I don't remember if he went to a therapist, a friend, someone suggested to say this little saying, yes, Mia saying, yes, it is, to saying this saying over and over. I believe it was pins and needles, needles and pins. It's a happy man that grins. And Ralph used to repeat this in his head. Like I used to repeat, yeah,
You just brought that up.
no,
That is
it
good.
works. It could be something silly. You see
That's
how we
pretty
can
good.
laugh about it now?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Hey,
can
check
laugh
out
about it.
Mia. Mia agrees. To the
To the
moon.
moon,
To the
Alice,
moon.
yes!
I should, man. Let me go find a
That's
picture
right.
of a moon and put it in the show.
Hey, you
That
know
was
what?
good. That was good.
Through all this, I've learned one very important thing,
To the
and that
moon.
is we
Send them to the
really,
moon. Is that what you mean? Send
really
them. No,
must keep our sense of humor.
absolutely.
Um, if I couldn't laugh, I don't know where I'd be. I have to laugh. I think back now to certain situations, and I'm like, how stupid is this person? Like, what a fool! What a darn fool he was, And at the time, everything was so serious, and yeah, there was serious situations. But if you can look back and laugh at some of the minor things, please try. Like, it's so ridiculous. They're embarrassing themselves. They truly are. So let me continue here. Step 6, arguing with a narcissist is a lose-lose situation. They will never admit they're wrong, and they'll twist the narrative to make you the bad guy. Yep. Instead of arguing, simply state your point and move on. Step 7, keep your plans to yourself. This is so important. Yes, humor helps in a lot of poor situations. Yes, it's so important that we could smile, laugh. Mia's agreeing, absolutely. Yeah, really, it's important. Gorgeous Whales, true, this is my life now. Good. I hope you're smiling and laughing every day. Keep your plans to yourself. Narcissists love to control and sabotage others. One way to outwit them is to keep your plans and personal information private. The less they know about your life, the less power that they have over you. This is um this is something I learned pretty late in the game. I I remember up until the last weeks that I was with him, every morning he would come to my room because he stayed downstairs. I stayed upstairs. That's a whole other thing these people do, right? They distance themselves from us in every way, and then they control us, and it's disturbing. And he would come up to my room and stand in the doorway, and he would say, "So what are you doing today?" And I remember after years and years of this, I didn't understand it. And then at the end, I realized he was doing this so he would have tabs on me, keep tabs on me. He would know my routine. He would know my schedule so he could go do what he wants to do, or um, do things that, he could do behind my back or sneak around, whatever he was doing. So, Mia, go bags, keep them hidden. Yes, keep your bags hidden, with your important paperwork, medications, clothes, and keys. Yes. I also went as far in the end to get my titles to the cars, copy of your license. I had my passport hidden, any jewelry. I had a safety deposit box because he would also destroy my things. Things would disappear. They really stop at nothing. They really are just, they're just so destructive. Step 6, Gorgeous Wells was saying that they were talking about arguing with a narcissist is a lose-lose situation. Oh, is that what you're referring to? I'm sorry, I thought you meant the laughing. Please don't forget to laugh. I remember I would put on, like, comedian shows or something just to laugh. This is your life right now. They will never admit that they're wrong, and they'll twist the narrative to make you the bad guy. Instead of arguing, state your point and move on. Gorgeous Wells, I was the bad guy. To some, I still am. Um, and it doesn't matter because the people that love you and know you. And even if they believe the lies and the manipulation for a little bit, they will come around. They will. The truth does come out. So hold on, be strong, and work on yourself. Take care of you. And I know it's difficult, but even if you do one little thing a day, like call an old friend or have a cup of coffee alone, something you like, watch something you like. Mia says he stole my diamond. Oh, you know, I've had, if I had a list of everything that went missing or everything that he destroyed, um, burned, he would burn everything. We had a fire pit, so the kids used to make roasted marshmallows when they were younger, and then when they grew up, that fire pit became his burning spot. I would come home and he would be burning, I don't even know what. It would smell like plastic. It would mattresses, clothes, pictures. He once burned my grandfather's 200-year-old antique table, and I stupidly confronted him because the table went missing, and of course he lied, and then it caused a big fight. So, yeah, take care of the things that mean something to you, put them away, give them to a friend to hold, someone you can trust. Yeah, that's your life right now, hiding stuff. Yeah. Hi, Grace. Grace is saying, yes, self-care is key. Yes, I learned that probably within the last 6 months, how important it is to take care of myself, self-care, self-worth. I lost it all over the years. So completely lost it all. So it was challenging at first to understand that that was the missing piece of my recovery, right? And I've been working on it and staying to myself, and I feel like a new person just the last couple months. So it is so important. Mia's saying, yeah, they steal your sanity. They steal our sanity. Yes, they do. But we can get it back. And it does start with self-care. Number 8, step 8, don't feed their ego. Narcissists live for praise and attention. If you withhold that admiration they crave, it disrupts their control. Oh, yes. They want to be told how great they are, how wonderful, they're the best. No one can compare to these people in their own minds, which is the complete opposite of who they really are. They're fools, like I said before, just fools. Be polite, right? Don't feed their ego. Don't pump them up any bigger than they think they are. Be polite, but don't give in to the constant flattery or feeding their ego. That goes back to them being the center of attention. You know, they just they need all eyes on them, and they're just ridiculous. Oh my God, a malignant narcissist who is on fire. Yeah, that's what Grace is saying. Um, oh, he started fires. Mine started fires. Their inflated ego is just a sign of a deep insecurity. Yes, they are so insecure. They are little children that never emotionally grew. They are they're soul suckers. They drain your energy if you let them. They'll drain your identity. They'll rid you of your family and friends. I got to the point where I just didn't bother with anyone anymore. It was easier than listening to the craziness and the stories and putting people that I loved in that position to have to hear these lies and this ridiculousness. And they're relentless. They don't stop. It feels so good to be away from him. Once you're away from them, your whole life will open up. I can't even it's I look back now and it's like, what in the heck? What was that? What was that 25 years of chaos, hell, stress, anxiety, depression? It was a disaster. Now I'm like, this is nice. I can get up like, oh, maybe I'll take a ride today. Maybe I'll, you know, just wear something nice today or put some lipstick on. It's like every little thing means something now. It's great. Mia's saying isolating was key. Yes. They deplete you, Grace says. Yes, yes, they sure do. Gorgeous Whales, everything you're saying is spot on. Thank you. Yeah, we're not alone, right? Hey, Mama Bear, how are you? Thanks for being here. Let me get on to step being away from a narc is just plain heaven, Grace is saying. Yes, being away from a narc is plain heaven. I didn't realize it. I have been away from mine for a couple years now. The divorce was final it will be final in March. I believe it's March. I don't even think about it any longer. So it's only been, I don't know, 8 months or so. And I didn't realize that I still had so much stress and anxiety. I was still so wound so tight, still trying to escape my own brain, my own life. And now that since June, July, July actually, I went on a mission to find myself again. And I'm so glad I did it because I was still going through the motions and I didn't realize it. And I can finally say that I feel peace. It's quiet. It's it's calm. It's it's just warm. It's just wonderful. I don't have that pit of my stomach anxiety, or if something happens or I get a call or have something going on, I don't feel like I'm going to explode. I don't have that anxiety. It was just awful. Um, I know therapy was a major help for me. My therapist, Dr. Mack, my psychiatrist, when I went this last week, I believe we're about 3.5 years in, 3 years that I've been seeing him. And this last Wednesday when I was there, he just looked at me and he says, you've come out. You've come out the other side. And I was like, wait, you see it? He's like, oh, yes. He's like, you've never come in here and just sat. I can sit on the couch and not have to ramble on or not have to tell him a story or something that's just floating around in my head from the past. I can finally just sit. It's wonderful. Mama Bear is doing good. Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good too. The state of grace, Grace says, yeah, the PTSD lasts a while. Sending you healing vibes, Susie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing great, but thank you. Thank you. Rick Rhodes. Hello, Susie. Hey, Rick, how are you? Thanks for coming by. So step 10, know when to walk away. Finally, the most important way to outwit a narcissist. Actually, I missed step 9. I didn't finish it. And I'm gonna go back because this to me is the most important one before 10, because 10 is really important as well. But instead of trying to fix or change, I just want to finish this. The narcissist, focus on yourself. invest in your mental health, build your confidence, and prioritize your emotional well-being. Narcissists hate when they can't affect your happiness. Yeah, that's the ultimate reward for yourself. Step 10, know when to walk away. Finally, the most powerful way to outwit a narcissist is knowing when to walk away. Sometimes the best strategy is simply to remove yourself from the toxic situation entirely. Narcissists rarely change, so if it's harming your mental health, it's okay to cut ties. Boy, is it ever okay to cut ties. Sometimes the only way to rid yourself of them is to completely just leave. I I got to the point where I sold my house. Um, I gave most of the things away that meant something to me, and I just cut ties. I cut ties with not only him, but many other people who were still friendly with him or had anything to do with him because it just wasn't worth my mental health any longer. Wasn't worth my happiness, my peace. It's probably the best and the hardest thing I've ever done in my life was cutting him loose, cut all ties. Mama Bear says, glad you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you. And you've been a phenomenal support system to me too. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you all so much for being here, for following my story, for helping me now to help others. I appreciate every one of you. Mia says, but be careful because when they feel like they are losing control, they get worse. Yes, they do get worse. They get angry when they're called out. They get angry when they are losing control. But you know, get your support system in order. Take care of things that need to be taken care of, like getting your important things and documents somewhere safe, and make a plan. We have to have an exit plan. We have to have a support system. Therapy is great. Even your finances. Um, don't tell them what you're doing. Quietly make a plan. Protect your things that are important, and please don't let them know what you're doing. Don't say I'm going to leave you or I'm done and all that. Just quietly go about your business. Don't tell them your plan, and only tell the very few people that you could trust, and escape. Yeah, I had to escape. It was it was not easy. It took a long time. And when he realized I was done, he still tried to come back around. I signed my divorce papers, and within 2 weeks, last March, I believe called me in April, and he wanted to come over. They always circle back. So, I wish I had this information. Take this information, take it seriously. And if you need more help, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm here for you. I can coach you. I can talk to you. I can help you find resources. I can help you with a safety plan. With my experience, I know now what I needed, and helping others to not have to go through what I went through is very healing to me as well. And it just feels so good to be able to give back to women who are in these situations. Um, it really takes my healing like full circle, you know.
I want to be able to put up something. That
Mm.
I'm doing stuff behind the scenes over here, doing some things. But I wanted to play this for those who have never seen it. And of course, many of you are loyal to the channel, both of our networks, loyal to both channels, both networks. But for those of you who may watch this back later, most of you here already have seen this, but let's do a little recap on something. This is Susie getting ready to do your thing for the state of Connecticut documentary. Here we go.
I want to be a spark to change how domestic violence is looked at, sexual assault is looked at. I want to let people know there is help there. They are not alone, and never to give up. Never, ever, ever to give up. Sometimes our families we can't talk to because we're connected with them and they're emotionally connected with us. And that was one of my biggest things, is that I didn't realize, okay, my family can't really help me. I needed a professional, and I needed other women who went through this. So a spark to change for me means that our community, there are people in our community like the center. The center is it for me, but that will help us, that will guide us and make a change. So I was embarrassed and shameful to tell my story that I was being abused. And no one should be ashamed or feel like it's their, that they did something wrong. Abuse is abuse. I want to be a spark to change how domestic violence is looked at, sexual assault is looked at. I want to let people know there is help there. They are not alone, and never to give up. Never, ever, ever to give up. Sometimes our families we can't talk to because we're connected with them and they're emotionally connected with us. And that was one of my biggest things, is that I didn't realize, okay, my family can't really help me. I needed a professional, and I needed other women who went through this. So a spark to change for me means that our community, there are people in our community like the center. The center is it for me, but that will help us, that will guide us and make a change. So I was embarrassed and shameful to tell my story that I was being abused. And no one should be ashamed or feel like it's their, that they did something wrong. Abuse is abuse.
All right, everybody. We appreciate the fact that you're here.
I want to recap the 10 steps to outwit a narcissist.
I know how you
The
think
first
sometimes. I know how you think sometimes. And guess what?
You knew.
hold that thought. No, I'm stalling so I can get to where I need to be to catch up to you. I went and got them ready for you.
Oh, you
So
did.
there you go.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
I'm trying to catch up to you. So I was typing as fast as my little fingers can go. Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
Awesome. So step 1, right? Recap the 10 steps to outwit a narcissist. Step 1, recognize the signs of narcissism, which are, they are charming, they are manipulative, they are controlling. Protect yourself and stay in control, right? Knowing these signs will help us to not get involved with them. So if we know the signs, let's hope in the future. I know I'm very vigilant now about reading people and listening to what they say. That's another one, right? Recognize the signs when someone talks about themselves a lot or wants to get to know you, quickly. It's usually a sign, a red flag, that they push everything very quickly. So be aware of that. And if someone boasts themselves too much and, just over the top tells you how wonderful you are, that's usually a sign that something's a little off. Mia says, I send emoji to a lot of people every day just to let them know they are thought of. Yes, you are wonderful. You are so good with that, and it always makes me smile. And I appreciate you. I appreciate the hearts and the smiles and the flowers. You definitely brighten so many people's days. Thank you, Mia.
That
So, yes.
alone gets and she gets one of these. I'll give her 2 of those. There we go. All right.
So here's something. Here's a thing. The thing about once you disassociate from these people, once you disconnect, once you get rid of them, once you get away from them, it's wonderful. The people that fill the void, the people that come into your life. It's like get rid of the garbage, right? I remember
Yep.
I had a life coach in the beginning when I was living in the RV, and he's like, "Are you done eating out of the dumpster?"
Ouch. Wow.
And yeah, and by staying away from that darn dumpster, I now have so many people that come in
Sorry.
my
That
life.
was supposed
No,
to be serious when you said it. Yes,
no,
it's
it
beautiful.
but you gotta laugh, right? We gotta laugh.
Leave the
No,
dumpster.
I
Leave the dumpster,
leave the
girlfriend.
dumpster,
Let it go. Let them go.
dumpster's
They're not who they really
there.
act like they
I'm
are.
onto the recycle bin
Uh,
now. I'm onto the recycle bin. Nice clean,
okay. Okay, that's a good one.
nice clean
I
cans,
left the
bottles.
dumpster, but I went to the recycle bin, and eventually, I will be
You
free of
come
it
out.
all. Free
Yes.
of it all.
Then it's like different stages. I'm sorry.
I'm
I
gonna
can't
find
help but
figure. No,
laugh.
for the next show, I'm gonna find a dumpster bin, recycle bin. I'm gonna like,
Bottles and
what
cans.
stage are you in? Bottles, cans, plastics.
But where I was going with this is that
Yeah, yeah.
people, you like Mia, okay? Sisters of the heart. Yeah, she says I'm her little sister.
Mm-hmm.
They all just took me in, and they're gonna be my friends for life. The women from the women's groups they've changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
They will be with me forever. Like I can never imagine my life without these women. No, no,
Let the
definitely not.
liars go, people. Let the liars go.
Yeah.
Let them stay with themselves. What else you got? Should I get
Let
ready
me
now
see.
for?
Yes,
Let me
let's
catch
do the
up to you. I'm
second.
getting there. Sure. Okay, number 2.
Second step is don't take the bait. Yeah. You know, they roll their eyes. They oh yeah, go behind people
Yeah,
too.
a little bit
Do you
of
know
your
how
New
many
York and your Italian comes out when you start. Yeah, I can tell
like
it's a little bit that
don't
irritates you. Don't you be rolling
don't
them eyes. I'll knock them
don't
out the
roll
back
your
of your
eyes at
head.
me.
You
Mm-mm. Nope.
dare roll your eyes at me.
No, it's
You're
so rude.
funny.
It's disrespectful. It's like
When people
little
feel
subtle things.
a certain way about you, all of us, not just people, but we're all the same. We can't hide it. It shows on our face, even when we think we're not hiding it. But it
Yeah.
really shows in our eyes what we really think about people.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing how we can't really hide it if we have contempt or we're jealous or any of the
Yeah.
above. So it's an internal thing we need to be working on, all of us. But go
Yeah.
ahead, you were saying.
But you say like you can't hide it. I think I hid it well. Like I hid the
You're in
pain. No, I
survival
hid the
mode.
pain and the I
Oh,
did.
okay,
I
yeah,
really I could put the brave face on, but my
yeah,
eyes were dead.
yeah.
Looking back, everyone's like, wow, now it makes sense. You know? But yeah, don't take the bait. And they'll always throw that line out when people are around. Oh, they love to do that. They love to get you all worked up when
When you
there's
say
witnesses.
throw the line out, you mean throw
Throw the
something that'll
bait. They'll
get you
throw the line
sparked
out.
out.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
get you.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fishing. Okay, I got the term. Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah. So the key here, right, is to
Mhm.
remain calm and collected. Don't let them pull you into their web of manipulation. Yeah. Do not take the bait. Do not get pulled into the drama. Do not get pulled into their emotional chaos. Let's see,
Number
number
3.
3. Mhm. Third step is set clear boundaries. Yeah. Be firm, be clear with what you will and won't tolerate. And if they guilt trip you or manipulate you, know your limits and stand your ground. Number 4, stay emotionally detached. You have to. You can't let them know they're getting a rise out of you. It'll
Mm.
only make it worse. One way to outwit them is to remain emotionally detached. Don't let their actions or words get under your skin. Nope, because then they got you. And it takes a long time to undo that. Once they get you, they just keep throwing wood on the fire. Number 5, use logic, not emotion. Stick to the facts and avoid letting them steer the conversation towards emotional drama. Yeah, take a breath, sit back, take a breath. Once you understand what they're doing and what's happening, it's a lot easier to see it coming. It really is. Even I used to just leave the room,
Mm.
leave the
Yeah.
house, defuse it because
Hmm.
they're not going to diffuse it. they're just going to amp it up. So it's up to us to have control of our surroundings, of what we allow them to do. So leaving, being quiet, just don't entertain it. A lot of times I would just ignore it. Just ignore
Mm.
them.
Mm. Hey, so
Yeah.
before you get to number 6, I'm going to ask a question here. I've never asked this one, but you made me think of something. When you say leave the situation, or as it were, taking your leave before anger really kicks in, and then you go back and forth. Um, the more you kept taking your leave, or just leaving it alone, did you find that your anger kept decreasing to the point that you almost didn't feel anything when they did something?
Absolutely. Um,
So the first few
I'm
times you did it, you were really upset, but you said, "Nope, I'm going to bite my tongue and I'm going to walk away." But then later on, it got easier for you to do it?
Well, that's where the dissociation came in for me.
Ah,
That
okay, I see what
you
you're saying.
disconnect. So
Got it.
it's almost
Got it.
like you shut down emotionally,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
So like use logic, not emotion, but you get if it goes on long enough and if you don't get out of the situation and
Yeah.
if you prolong it like I did for 25 years, I was just
Mhm.
a shell. So yeah, you have that,
Wow.
no
Okay.
one should I was so isolated though,
Well, you were
So
away from, I'm just going
they
to say everybody
mhm.
in a strong generalization. You were away from everybody.
I was like,
Mama Bear got something for you.
don't let them poke the bear. That's right. Yep. That's it. Once you get their game, then you know what's coming, then you can diffuse it. Just go away.
Yeah.
Ignore them. Get support.
Number
What are we up
6.
to? Number 6. Avoid arguing. Yeah, arguing with them is, like we said, it's a lose-lose situation. Instead of arguing, simply state your points and move on. Yeah, or like I had to do in an extreme case, just ignore it. It took a lot of emotional strength,
Mhm.
mental strength to be able to just whatever. Yep, whatever you believe. I would say that sometimes. Yep, whatever you say,
Now,
you
now
know.
there are situations in which someone who is unhealthy emotionally, self-absorbed, haughty, terms today, narcissistic, toxic, whatever the case may be, undiagnosed troublemaker. Um, Sometimes they can't do it with you personally, or let's say I'm going to use myself as an example. Let's say that happened to me. Can't do it with me, but they're going to do it instead with the children. So let's notice what Mia says.
Mia says, but sometimes you can't walk away because of the kids. They will go after them, so you have to intervene. Um, yes. In my situation, if I ignored him, then I would hear him talking to the kids, or he would lash out at the grandchildren, and they don't do this in front of other people.
Mm,
Um, what worked for me was that's when I started to video record and yeah, it's upsetting. It's upsetting when they do it to the kids and the threats to leave you with nothing and take the kids and all that. So that's I think that's why I stayed
yeah,
25 years.
some
Yep.
serious,
But I didn't have this support system.
but trying to figure that out and calculate when it's the safety of the children, their emotional well-being is being attacked. So someone definitely needs to, or Mia, you can you speak to it some more, the same way Susie is right now, because if you can actually hand out tips, um, much love to everybody here in the chat, by the way. One more time for the people in the back row. So essentially, what I'm saying right now, not just to Susie, but to Mia, you and anybody else, Mama Bear, anybody else that's here still in the chat, or in the comments later, um, you're bringing out some really solid points. What I want to be able to do in this particular live is if you have any specific tips that you've utilized, feel free to put them in the chat. It really will help people that you may never meet and haven't met that write us and talk to us. I'm relying on all of you in the chat, along with Susie, to give some clear-cut tips, so that our channel is not one that just points out a problem, but we actually can offer some really strong tips. And I haven't got a chance to get Mia's book yet, so look at me begging for a free book.
Well,
So even better than that, when we just have to coerce her to come on the show, right? I think
yeah,
we could get
absolutely.
you as a call-in, Mia. I'm just telling you. You
That
can join right now. I'll send you the invite. You can come and I'll give you the link right now if you want. Susie smiling. Like Paxton will really do that.
he
So
will.
so I
Don't,
sure will.
only
If
if
you
you
want to
mean it.
come on the show, what we need to do is use the skill of everyone that's in the chat that's willing to do it. You can come on the show right now if you want. I'll send you the link. Just give me your email. I'll send you the link and or anything like that. But anytime you want to be on the show when Susie's here on her network, when we're producing and directing her show, we want you to be a part of it because we want to hear your lived experience that could help some young woman or some man that's going through it. But I just wanted everybody to know that. I don't want you to think you're excluded and can't jump in. You can jump into this anytime you're ready. You're able. I'll bring you into the show and you can give out some tips to everybody. I see what you got there, Mia, for me. What did she say there?
Mia says, I ran my house like I was in the
Oh,
army,
wow.
everything in its place and everything in order at all times.
Wow.
Um, I can relate to that, Mia, because I did the same thing. And I
Is
feel
that a
like,
survival thing or what?
yeah,
Is that what it
it
is?
was the only thing I could control,
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
right? Mia, you
Mm-hmm.
might be able to relate to that. I don't know if that was your reasoning. I'm looking back, I see that now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we were talking about the children, something I did was I didn't,
And
I think
you
that's
had two boys, just for so if
yes,
anybody's listening, never been to this channel before, you had two boys. And
I
Mia,
had
you
two
can always
boys.
talk about how many children you had. Maybe it'll help some young woman going through it right now. Go ahead, you were gonna say.
And then he had a child that was in the
Okay.
house for about 12, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that was difficult. My sons were they were wonderful. They tried to just stay out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I left because I didn't want to make it worse for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to fight back or argue back or that's why I stopped defending myself because it just made it worse for the
Mm-hmm.
children. And I believe that's why I would just run. I would leave. I would have my go bag because it was why put the kids through that? It was easier
Did you
for
feel
me
you were
to
the problem?
escape.
Did you feel you were
N-
the
n-
problem, and so you had to leave? No, I'm just
No,
asking.
I always knew I wasn't the problem. I mean, I was confused
I got
just
you.
all
Uh-huh.
the years of it, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew there was nothing. I knew I wasn't a bad person. I wasn't the things he
Okay.
was saying I was. Yeah.
Okay.
Mia says yes, because if things were in order, it was less chance for him to go off.
Okay.
Oh,
So putting things in order, you felt, Mia, or you can address this as well. It was necessary for your survival to keep things in order to keep him off your back. At least
and
you hope that he would
well,
stay off your back
while
because the house was in order and the kids were in order.
I think in my case, it was that it was very predictable, the routine.
Okay.
So,
I
yes,
see what you're saying.
total confusion. Yeah. If they come home and dinner isn't made, they're going to
Hmm.
start. So it's easier to keep the clothes clean, put everything away, because otherwise you're going to hear it that there's a laundry basket out there. You can't do anything right. You're a slob. Where's my clean socks?
Yeah.
So if you stay on top of it and a step ahead, then you're not
Hmm.
going to get badgered.
Wow.
Keeps
Mm.
the abuse down.
Mia, what else you got for us, Mia?
Mia says yes, but it didn't always work depending on the day he had.
That I was
Yeah.
concerned about that, and I'm glad you're bringing that up, Mia. I know, Susie, you talked about it a little bit that you could kind of like have the perfect meal, and then he would still find a problem with the whole situation. How
Yes.
did you manage that, Mia? Same thing with you. How did you navigate that kind of, what'd you say, total confusion?
Yeah. For me, it was, I stopped cooking. I always cooked. I've been cooking since I'm a young
Yeah, I know.
child.
I'm waiting for you to come out here so you can.
Yeah. And I started
We're
make
gonna
me
make
some
you cook
lasagna with
for me and my
spinach.
daughters. Go ahead.
But I started to question my cooking ability, and I've always cooked. I cook well.
You started
Now I know I
questioning
cook
what you
well.
did well.
Yes,
That's
yes. I'm like,
crazy.
wait a minute, did I
That's
screw? And I'm
crazy.
like, and people would
That's
come over
crazy.
for holidays because he would always have something negative to say or this whatever, and everyone would like praise the meal or whatever. And he would, he would just, he hated that.
Trying to
Hated
bring you
when
down a few
people.
notches, huh?
Yep. Oh yeah. I remember one Thanksgiving, everyone was around and I, of course, made the whole everything from the turkey to the lasagna to the desserts, appetizers. And everyone was so happy with the meal. Like it was a really good meal I cooked and it took me days. And he was so upset that I was being complimented that he stopped everyone from eating and he started going, everyone give her a round of applause.
Sarcastic applause. Sarcastic
Yep.
compliment.
I was so
Yeah.
humiliated.
Uh,
I was
hey,
like, I'm done with holidays.
okay, so tell me this. Let's look at what Mia says here. And
Okay.
the two words that really stand out to me, and I've never thought about it this way, on three words, on alert constantly. Okay? You
Mia
know,
says, we knew,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
We
please go.
knew what time it was without even looking at the clock. Oh, yes, 4:23. I would know. I would know if he left the city, what job he was on, and exactly. Even if there was traffic, I would know when he was pulling down the driveway.
Oh my
You
goodness.
have it. Oh yeah, built-in defense,
Good God
built-in
Almighty.
defense, going on alert constantly. Yep, you could feel them coming into the town. It was like the whole vibe would change.
That's
And you know
crazy.
what would
That's just
Mia,
crazy.
when mine would pull in the driveway or get close to the house, we'd all be in the kitchen, the kids would be doing homework,
Yeah.
eating snacks and everyone would run.
Yeah.
That car would come down the drive, everyone would disappear. Yep. That's pretty sad, right? I haven't thought about that.
Well, definitely sad on their part that they do that to a human being.
Yeah. Yeah. Mia
Navigating
can
that
relate.
is what our two networks are about. We know everybody can go somewhere else, and some of you that may be passing through or that may see this later, our two networks are not about just pointing out what's wrong. You can get that anywhere. The key is coming up with strategies, steps, tips, and tools, and that's essentially what we do as a channel. But we need to discuss things to make people aware of situations and then go beyond that. And that's hopefully you'll get that, at least some of that tonight. Gorgeous Wales, just love the name. Wow, my life, I live with this. So you're living with that right now. And gorgeous, correct me if I say it wrong. I just like saying gorgeous. And I would love to visit Wales one day. If you're living that right now, feel free to expand on that. And any tips and tools that are working for you or that are not working for you. If there's some things that don't work, please tell us that part too. Because the subscribers to the channel here and the viewers that pass through, they need to know what doesn't work also so that they don't go down that rabbit hole and find it getting worse. It's very important. The amount of people that reach out to us as a channel over the past 5 years, they need to know what doesn't work. Mia has something for you as well there.
Mia says, I let my kids play till it was time for him to come home. Then they went in their rooms doing homework, chores, etc. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Got it.
Yeah. I think when we did this as survival, obviously, and the kids they picked up on it and knew, if if you do have young children and someone abusive comes home from work and starts yelling or screaming or
Right.
maybe for us as moms, I know Mia could probably relate to this. We kind of worked it out so everything would work around their schedule, and you almost
I'm
have
sorry, the
to do
there,
this.
please forgive me, please, but the there, you mean the
The
abuser?
unhealthy person, the
Yeah,
abuser's
okay, got
schedule.
it. Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
So if you could, make sure your children really aren't right there at the door when he comes in. If
Mm,
there's a chance he could be in a mood or get
mhm,
angry or, cause a fight.
mhm.
And it was easier for me to keep it quiet, to kind of give him nothing to yell about. When you're in survival mode, when someone comes in the house and starts screaming and yelling and your kids are being affected, just to give them snacks or set them up inside with a craft, it
Mm.
really helps. It keeps them from being emotionally damaged. as well.
Mhm.
It's almost like as moms, we take the brunt of it until you can find, support, until you can, escape. Yes,
Mia agrees with you. Go ahead. You were going to read it for the
Mia
audience.
says, yes, the abuser, she says, keep them away from him as much as possible. Yes, she agrees. Keep the children away from the abuser as much as possible, especially when they're younger and they don't understand yet what's going on. Another thing was, I never did what he did. I never would,
Well,
I think the kids knew something was wrong with him.
wait. So you never did what he did. You mean your behavior, or
Mhm.
you didn't like watch the same TV program? What do you mean by you didn't do what he did?
I tried. It was not easy. Don't get me wrong. In the beginning, I would try to defend everyone and defend myself. And then I realized it was easier for me just to take the high road
Yeah.
and let
Okay.
him carry on and,
Hmm. Hmm.
badmouth me and this and that. Because if both of us were doing it, I think it would have made even a worse situation for the children. You know,
Yeah, it would have been a house full of chaos, and
yeah,
then they didn't feel safe nor secure.
with either one.
The man should be there to provide security for all under his care, and the woman is without a doubt making sure that the children feel safe, and he needs to make sure she feels safe. The wife or the mom feels safe. He was destroying all of that, and boy, if you would have pitched in too, the kids are like, man, where do we go now? Who do we rely on? So that was really commendable that you tried to make sure that you kept things quiet. And when you meant quiet, you meant not to add to it, or just literally you also kept it quiet. And
Yeah, I always kept it quiet.
got it,
Anything
got
I
it.
thought would trigger him in any way or fuel him,
Hmm.
I did. Mia says, yeah, we had to protect our kids and our lives. Yeah, at any cost.
Yeah. Notice what Gorgeous says here as well. Um, Thank you for sharing, Gorgeous Wells, and feel free to tell us some more. Says that's what I do, making sure things are done before the person comes home to keep peace.
Yeah.
Um, that seems to be what you're talking about. What emotional toll, Mia? And I'm going to put up some other things Mia says here. What is the emotional toll, if you could kind of describe it? Because someone's going to hear this, watch this, and is going through it, but feels like they are not understood or can put words to their situation. Let's try to put words to the emotions that you felt when you were feeling that you couldn't virtually make a noise, a peep, and the children couldn't. What were your emotions like? How can you describe that, if possible, Mia, or you yourself, Susie, that you had to, like Mia said, be absolutely quiet?
Yeah. It was debilitating.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah. At the time, I knew I had to do it. I didn't give it thought. It was just an instinct.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mia says everything was on his terms all the time. Oh, yes. The world, I used to say his name World, like Wayne's World. It was like his name were that was
Uh, that's
that was it.
crazy.
That was it. And he would,
You didn't have a
he would,
world then.
oh, I didn't have an identity. I didn't have a life. I didn't have, nope,
And you and I
nope.
talk, you know that there are women, you deal with that with the women's shelter and people you talk to. There are women living that right now, and they don't have a
Mhm.
women's shelter. They don't
No.
have their mom, they don't have their dad, they don't have their sisters, they don't have their siblings because he's isolated them.
Mhm.
And the reality of it is, you said something, I can't remember whether you said it before we started or not. Like with the center, now the center is dealing with men, you said.
Mhm.
There are
Yeah,
men
do
that
you
are
know,
going through this with
yeah,
women who are violent.
and they're embarrassed. They're
Yeah,
embarrassed,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Extremely
What do you
embarrassed.
do? Go to work and say, "My wife attacked me last
That's
night," or
I had a guy on the show, and this is when we were on Instagram. I don't know. He must have pulled in a little over 500 people were watching that show, and he talked about it. He didn't want to show
good
his
for
face on
him.
camera, but he talked about it, and it was bad. It was bad. The
Uh,
stuff he told me in show prep was bad, and I was like, I don't know if we want to say that about you. on air.
Right.
Let's just keep that part of your life private. But to me, in many cases, certain things he said, it was worse than what a man does
Mhm. No.
because no one would ever believe him. Even when the
Mhm.
police showed up at his house multiple times, the neighbors believed him because they live right next door and got to see her all the time. The police didn't believe him because when they showed up, it was like it's like she became a totally different person. Similar to what you said. Remember when I'm trying to remember part of your story about when the police was like he was a totally different guy in the police
Yeah.
station when he showed up and said you were beating him, but
Mhm. No, I
because you
beat
had video,
myself. I
no, beat
broke
yourself.
my
That's what it was.
nose.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's what it was. But if you hadn't have had the video,
They would have
they just thought you
probably
some crazy woman
some crazy,
complaining
yeah.
about this nice, hardworking guy. Look what Mia
Poor
says
little
there.
old man, sweet little old man. Yeah. Mia says they are living in terror. These people home dealing with this right now. They are living in terror, misery, despair, emotional roller coaster always, never feeling safe, always on edge. Yeah.
If you are listening to this or know someone listening to this, or you think your neighbor or someone else is listening, is going through this, make sure they listen to our YouTube channel and have them reach out to myself or Susie. But on
Please.
immediate and imminent danger, there are numbers that they need to reach out and get the resources and the protection that they need. Make sure you have them in your Rolodex. Don't rely on NATV. Don't rely on SZTV Network. Don't make sure you have those available and give that information to them if you even suspect that they are going through that. And hey, if they deny it and say they're not going through it, tell them, hey, pass it on to a friend if that's the case. And I don't know, buy them a burger or something. Tell them, hey, I misjudged the situation. But make sure you let them know that even though they may be on the edge, they are not alone, without a doubt. You felt so alone, didn't you?
Yes. Well, I was going through this before anyone discussed it. There weren't shows like this. There weren't many books. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know what I was dealing with. Mia, I don't know if can you relate to that when you were going through it? Because, it was a few years ago for us. We were in long marriages. Did you know what it was? Like, when did you realize something was terribly wrong? Mia says, we live in a dark abyss trying to find the light, always trying to find a way out. Yes. It's just recently that I don't have that waking up in the middle of the night. Where am I? When is the next shoe going to drop? I don't, a lot of people go through that on a daily basis, and it takes a long time to deprogram. It took me a long time. Like, don't expect when you break away from them, don't expect that this is something that I didn't know. I never heard this before. No one ever talked about it, but I thought, okay, once I'm gone, once I'm away from him, I left, that's it. Everything gets better.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You have to literally calm your nerves, calm your
Yeah.
mind,
Right.
de-stress, and then reprogram. It's like rebooting
Brain trauma.
slowly.
I
Oh,
think I'm trying to remember. Didn't you bring that up one time? I told you we are going to do a show on it.
trauma brain.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry I said it wrong. Yeah.
You know, even when I take notes to do a show, okay? When I first started, I actually thought of this the other day. I would take a piece of paper. I think I told you, like, I couldn't remember
Mhm.
if you asked me a question, I couldn't remember,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
stop mid-sentence. I'm still healing. But I would write on a piece of paper. I got to the point at the end of the relationship that if I was writing bills, like a check
Yeah. Yeah.
or a Christmas, I stopped writing Christmas cards because I couldn't write.
Mhm.
And my letters were so big, I'd write across the page, maybe 10 words
Mhm.
on a sheet of paper. And I literally just a few weeks ago, started to be able to write in the lines
Mhm.
because my brain was so fried.
Mhm.
I had to reteach myself how to do it all.
Okay. So, this I never told you. I remember you saying that a while back, over half a year ago. So it's been a year of us being around each other and we talked many times and stuff. So I had a therapist come on and say that's the brain trying to go back to the way it was by writing big because it can't focus because it's been affected, right? And to hear you say that, knowing how you were the first time you came on the show, the other day I took a glimpse at it. I can't watch a lot of the shows that I've already done, and so I watched a glimpse of it. And I think I said this to you the other day because not too much we say between each other is private, but I said this the other day. I was like, I don't even know who that person is because I've watched you change, and we've talked about this. I've mentioned the different stages. But the reason is because we go back to something that Grace said. We've talked about it, and Grace said it in the show today. You've done a lot of self-care along the way with some prodding from people on the outside, mainly the one leading the way, far as I know, Dr. Mack. So along the way, you've had the self-care, and look, now you're writing between the you're writing between the lines.
Staying on the line.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing right now as
Yes.
if we don't have an audience because, we're talking with each other.
Yeah.
But look at what Mia says, though.
It was the
And
missing
that sometimes is lost when people are making progress in their recovery. But she says, when I finally got a job and realized I was good at something, I realized I had to fight back. But the more I fought back, the worse he got. And so for me, the question in my head that I always want to ask individuals, and I'm going to do it now. She says, but the more I fought back, the worse he got. And to me, it's always, I guess I'm coming from a guy standpoint. Why would he get worse when you were doing something good?
because they are losing control because she got a job.
Hey, I'm such a dad. It's because
This
you're
is-
better. I could see if my daughters told me something like that. I would look at him and go like, it's because you're better than him.
Yeah.
And I'm
exactly.
saying it from a guy standpoint because the guy only acts that way because his insecurity is leading instead of his personality.
Mhm.
So I know from a female standpoint, say, well, he's losing control. He doesn't really want control. He just wants to be better than you.
Mhm.
And he's not. No, I'm just,
they're
how I
not.
am. I'm going to start doing it
Yes.
right now, but I'm going down this road because I'll be here for 5 hours. But a man has that behavior. We can call it whatever. Ladies, I'm just talking as a guy right now. Right now, I wish Leon Walker was here because we both be saying the same thing. It's from a man's standpoint, it has nothing to do with control. You can call it coercive control. I know all the terms out there. Just street psychology lingo right now is one thing. It's not about control. He is not better than you, and it hurts. That's his pride.
You think it's jealousy?
Well, we all have a natural sense of pride and self-respect, as it were. His is twisted. Or if you take a female narcissist, it's just twisted. So if there was never a mental health diagnosis manual or anything else, and we're just talking, somebody's going to go, okay, it's okay to have self-respect, but now it's then crossed into ego. So what's making your ego that way? It's got to be what you just said. Jealousy. Jealousy leads to envy. Envy leads to people doing very greedy, violent things to other people to keep them in place. So I find it interesting, the person you've become in a year. And when I say interesting, I say that because I'm weird. I'm a social scientist. I like dissecting people, which is hence why we have the show. But I find it fascinating about you, the things you talk about now from when I'm sorry, I'm laughing when we talked the very first. I'm not, I'm not laughing.
I don't
at
even
you.
remember.
Somebody else is gonna watch this and go like, that guy's just rude. He's just laughing at her. That's not what I'm doing.
I get it. I get it.
Mia, great comments, but I'm just laughing because when you were talking to me the very first time, I'm not going to say everything.
You
but when
can.
you were talking
Honestly,
to me,
I'm an
just
open
kind
book.
of an open book, and yeah,
I
we
can help
both are.
someone. Let's
so in
put it out
the
there.
first time when we were doing the show prep, I think we did 2 or whatever. And the first one, I just had to, and I don't do this often, but I was like, okay, I gotta go. In my head, I gotta go. This is too much for me emotionally because this is painful to hear. And then later on, you send me videos of, stuff that you recorded in situations and everything. And it's like, I can't even watch the whole thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
how does another human being act like this? It's like,
Yeah.
this is like, it's not
But
like it's a movie where okay, they're acting.
no,
What
that's real.
you know what I'm saying? It was
Mm-hmm.
real.
Yeah.
And at some point, maybe in some private event or on a members only live, I will show it. It's just not going to be for pure public consumption because it affected me.
Yeah.
So, but I want people to understand, or when Susie makes her documentary, or maybe Netflix may pick you up for all we know. But when Susie and I make something together, then everybody will be able to get an understanding of what she meant, what she experienced. She's not the only person to experience it. But when we were talking, and thank you so much, Mia, for what you're putting up. We're gonna address it in a little bit, and I'm gonna keep putting it up. But what's very important that I've come to learn about you and women that are from the shelter, because that's really what you deal with a lot, and talk with them and hear them try to get their dignity back and get back on their feet. So a lot of just give me a thumbs up if you got me back. Signal may go every now and then, everybody. So we're doing something between us. Okay. So when you talked to me the first time and started telling me the story, and then I mentioned to you, which is a norm here, if anybody reaches out to us, or if you're a member of the channel and you want to be on the show or anything like that, I don't want to hear the whole story. I never want to hear the whole story. I don't want to read your book. I don't want to do it. I want to interview you straight as if I'm the audience. And when you started to tell me, I had to tell you to stop, not because of that. It was just too much. Because you were rattling it off. You're nothing like what you are right now. You're calm,
Right.
cool, and collected right now. She was rattling it off, you guys. The pain, the disgust, the utter rudeness of treatment that she had received, and it was a tenth of the story.
And I believe I did
Go ahead.
that because no one saw me. I felt invisible.
Yeah.
No
And
one
you happen
heard
to
me.
talk to the right guy, because all I do is listen. I listen like
Yeah.
I don't know what. And you were over. I was over listening. So it was coming. But
It was
there's
like
somebody
I
out there that doesn't have
finally.
that. Go ahead. You were saying, go ahead.
Yeah, no, when you find that person, that's why I love what I do now. I love to be able to talk to women and help them
Yes.
and let them vent.
You're very good
Tell
at it.
me, because
Mhm.
I've probably survived it. And if I haven't, I will help you. I will,
Yeah.
there's not much someone can tell me that I get shocked about. And
Mm.
I think that really helps people to open up with me because they know I've experienced so much. And with my life experience, it makes it easier. It's embarrassing, the stuff that
Yeah. And
we
it's
go
almost as
through.
if the abuser wants you to be embarrassed, of course, and
Course.
shamed to not
Mhm.
talk about it. You're gonna get choked up talking about it. Mia says all our situations are different, but the same in that we ended up in therapy with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Those moments are not easy to navigate from. It's not like somebody could just come bring you a bunch of dark chocolate and you feel better and you pop out of bed. Everyone is affected differently. Or like you said, Doctor, it may have been a month or so ago, you talked about the trauma brain. I'm going to go back to that. Dr. Mack or whatever mentioned to you, you were talking about that. And I told you, like I said before, we want to be able to talk about that on our platforms to help others to understand what they are actually going through. So the things you're learning from Dr. Mack, you're able to help others dissect what they're going through, because not everybody can go to a Dr. Mack. Not
Right.
everybody has the money to do whatever or do this or do that. And so what we're doing right now, everybody, so you'll know, anytime you see the SUZIE COSBAN show, it's going to have a particular theme so that you can start to dissect what you're going through. You're not going through it, then you, of course, are always welcome to watch the show, but it is geared for a specific audience. It's geared for individuals like Mia and SUZIE, but now Mia and SUZIE are here and others to be able to tell you how you can actually step by step daily go through certain situations. But it's not going to work. It's not going to really help you if you don't reach out to them. So you're going to need to reach out to Susie. And when you're able to do that, it's going to really help. Go ahead, Susie. Something you want to say? I'll put Mia's comments up.
Yeah, no, so much information. Mia says, we feel each other's pain and despair in groups. We support each other without putting each other down. Support and knowing we are not alone is so important for people to find and learn about. Yes, we're not judged. There's no judgment. It is a complete no judgment zone. Women's groups, support groups, the counseling that I'm starting to do with women. And yeah, knowing you're not alone, knowing you're not going to be judged, and just having someone that went through it or understands, even if it's a different situation, to, like we're doing here tonight, just talk about different situations, like when they come home from work. Those it may seem insignificant to someone that's not going through it, but when you are going through it and you're in it, you don't really think. You don't, just like feeding the kids early, or
Yeah.
like I said, put a little craft or a TV show on for them. It makes the world a difference. But when you're in it, you're not able to think through anything. You're in survival mode.
That seems to be a common thing that that I've heard. But some can feel shame and guilt and think that they're not doing something right still by trying to protect the children and all these other things. They shouldn't be condemning themselves. That's why I like when you said about there's no judgment when you ladies are trying to walk and talk your way through these situations. To the younger ones are learning from the ones that are experienced or that are already out of it. Okay, you may not want to go down in that road. You may want to try it this way instead. And that's really what Susie and others, including Mia, are able to do. I need to know Mia's book, by the way, or the title of it. Whenever, Mia, if you can, just let me know it in the chat. We were listing everything, and I think we got to 5 or 6. I don't remember.
Avoid arguing. I didn't even.
No,
I know.
totally forgot. But anyhow,
Avoid arguing. Yeah. They'll never admit they're wrong. Nope. Never. They are always right in their minds. They twist the narrative to make you the bad guy. Instead of arguing, simply state your point and move on. Yeah, that's so important. It's not worth it. Ignore them, walk away. Truth will come out. I promise it'll come out.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That indeed, the truth will always come out. Let the false accusations linger out there. Whoever wants to believe it. I think you touched on that as well when you first started, and you said it again, right? The false accusation, whoever wants to believe it is going to believe it. There's no trying to stand and do a Perry Mason and convince them. Let them deal with it, because who truly loves you and wants to stick with you, they're a true friend, and they will stick with you through thick and thin. And everyone else was just an acquaintance passing through. You were going to say?
Yeah, and the ones that I lost all my family and friends because of him, a lot of them. But the ones that now understand, now things make sense. They circle back. They come back. They will come back into your life if they're meant to be there, and if they truly love you. Yeah, that was one of the hardest things for me to deal with. Mia says, stepping out of the darkness into the light. Yeah. It takes a little while once you're away from them, and then eventually everything gets brighter, happier, smoother, more peaceful. It happens. Gorgeous Well says no accountability. No, they don't take accountability. They're never wrong.
Yeah.
They twist everything. They're perfect.
It's almost, and piggyback on the no accountability from Gorgeous. It's almost as if they need to make sure to keep so much chaos that there's just no way all the accountability that they never took can be called for on them, and they feel like they're getting away with everything because they can create so much chaos. But Mia says this: sometimes you have to go through the pain of being called the liar and so many other vile things, And that is, in actuality, what many people who have been on this show have said. They literally have been called all kinds of things. Literally, police involved, other officials involved, a lot of other things, and they survived it.
So that for me makes me think of me not having self-worth.
Mhm.
Because he would call me all these things and I really believed them. I had no self-worth, I had no dignity, I had no respect for myself. None. So looking back, I'm like, okay, it took all that for me to finally save myself, work on myself, heal myself, recover myself, all that good stuff. Gorgeous is
20,
saying
okay,
this.
if you really had to say, 25 years or no?
2023. I was married in 2000 and I was with him 2
23
years
years.
before that. I was with him 2 years before that.
So 23 years. Lesson learned, you would say now, or no?
26 years. We're in 2024.
You're in 2024.
I divorced him in 24. So 24, 25, 26 years. 26 years.
Okay.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
You're 26 years. I'm not going to be saying your age, but 26 years, and you subtract that out of your life of being with that particular individual, 26 years out of that. Lesson learned now or no? Or are you still learning? Oh, lesson learned.
No. I would say
burned. You don't need to go back to the burn
toast.
unit.
Toast.
Okay, that was a good. Okay,
Blazing inferno.
So toast.
Blazing.
Okay, so toast. Okay, you've been toasted. Yeah. You feel strong and comfortable to say you've had enough of that.
Yes. Oh yes. I've had enough to the point where I have self-isolated myself since July. I don't have much human contact and I like it like this right now.
I don't have much human contact and I'm just fine. There's nothing that I need. I don't need another human. You don't even need you don't even have a pet, do you?
No, because then I can't leave. Well, actually,
yo, you want to go to concerts like you've been going. That's what you want to do.
I saw Post Malone was it 2 weekends ago? 2 weekends ago. Oh, so much fun. So I can live
crazy. Yeah, it's too funny. Okay, so I'm putting Mia's stuff up.
Mia says, I was lucky enough to find a wonderful man that I've now been married to for 22 years.
Wait, hold on a second. I know she just said that, but I got to go back. What's the name of the book?
Oh,
the name of the book is what?
I have the book. I don't think it's in here though.
Mia, what's the name of the book? Is it the one? Oh, I got it. No, my bad. I see it now. I put it up too. Stephanie, I'm so fired.
I'm sorry. I should have known that too, Mia.
My bad.
I should have known that because I have the book.
Hey, I'm kind of hurt. How she get the book, man? What's up with that? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I know she get your book. Let me give you my address for the signed copy that you're going to send me. Anyhow, so the shipping address. Stepping Out of the Darkness into the Light is the name of the book. You can see it on the screen, everybody. Make sure you put the pizza down and make sure you grab a copy of Mia's book, Marianne's book. Mia, you just changed the name on your YouTube or not? Maybe I missed it because I was like, who is Mia? And then, of course, Susie told me, that's Marianne. What's wrong with you, Paxton? What's wrong? You're fired. Okay, so we got to get something else here. I got to do this. Oh, she had to write it twice. I'm so slow. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Marianne. Stepping Out of the Darkness into the Light. Again, I throw that out there to everybody. Make sure you go over to, I'm assuming, Amazon, maybe Barnes & Noble, maybe out of her garage. Whatever you got to do, make sure you grab a copy and see what you can do to share some tips and tools for yourself or for others that may be going through this insidious behavior from selfish individuals. Right now, she says, I don't think Susie has been able to read it. So,
no,
let me tell
not
you something. I send Susie stuff, and Susie don't get a chance to read it, and it's for the show. So,
Hey, I got my work done today.
she got a lot of stuff. Well, that's because right now you're
Yeah,
not doing the horses. That's why.
that's right. That's right.
And so,
I didn't feed
yeah,
tonight. And
that's
I'm
right.
like, Paxton, I got to go feed horses. We
Well, you
I
are
come in
kind
sometimes.
of.
I got hay sticking out of my hair, all of my shirt.
All of your clothes.
No, it's true.
And
You
then I
really get
say to
full of
her,
life.
"Hey, Susie." She goes, "Yes, I got hair." I said, "No, Susie, I'm just saying, hey, like,
Hey,
hi, what are you
what's
doing?"
up?
What has she got for you? Mia's got more. Mia, you should just constantly be our chat guest.
Yeah, she changed her name.
Uh,
She also said that I didn't read the book yet. I wasn't ready to read the book yet, but
yeah,
I think I'm pretty much there now. So I'm definitely I skimmed through it a little bit.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
only on
it's her
Amazon,
story.
by the way, for anybody that's listening right now, or that just in case you not checking the chat. Mia's saying that it's only on Amazon, and sometimes you have to be mindful. Others have said this too, but you are mentioning something, a very good point. You have to be mindful of what you're reading and who you're around and different things because it can cause a spark and affect you. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That goes for music as well. For months and months, I would listen to the most depressing music because that's
Mm,
where I was emotionally, mentally,
hmm hmm
and it made me worse. It just keeps you ruminating, and you
Yeah.
know keeps you a little stuck. So I switched up the music.
How'd you navigate from that? Was that a self-generated thing? Was that a Dr. Mac thing telling you, or Mia says it's very triggering. Uh,
Yeah.
can't get my mouth to work here. And then Mama Bear says, "Oh no, didn't feed horses," is what he
No,
said.
I didn't have to tonight. Somebody else did. But
Yeah,
thank you for being
they're
concerned.
okay. They're
They're
okay.
fine.
Let's clarify that before we
They've eaten.
animal animal people start
Animal
hating us. Yes.
control.
Okay, so go
No,
ahead.
we love.
You were saying
What was I saying
in
about? Oh,
regards to
music.
yeah.
So yes, I finally realized because one of my escapes, one of the things I did to
Mhm.
survive in my survival mode was jump in the car or blast the radio or listen to music, and I realized it was making me worse. So I
Mhm.
switched it up. Yeah, I switched up my
Would you
my
switch up?
playlist.
Come on.
Well, I used to listen to a
Say
lot
a
of
few
I don't
names.
want to
I'm not
call
going to ask
anyone
you to
out because I
sing. I'm not going to
love
ask you to
so many
sing.
of them. I just chose like the love songs and the ballads and the lonely songs
Uh-huh.
and all that stuff that just kind of kept me. There's a time and place for all that. I
So
wasn't in the
what? You
place.
just crossed over and went to Eminem? Is that
I
how you
went
did
to
it?
I
You,
love
I
Eminem.
knew you were going to say it.
If I
I guessed
ever
it. I guessed it, and I knew you had
no,
a feeling, and you did it. Okay,
if
so you went to what?
if
Eminem,
there's
and
one concert that
and
I must attend, it's
oh, I'm trying
Eminem.
to think of the name right now, and I can't go ahead and say it.
Post Malone,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Post
say.
Malone,
I was
and then
trying to
I
think of
did.
the name that you told me before, and I said that's so you gave up on. I'm gonna say this. You're too young to remember these groups. So groups
I don't
like
know about that.
Bread and the
No,
Righteous
those were the
Brothers and
ones I
stuff.
was yes, that's what I was listening to.
Kenny Loggins, and I don't know James Taylor. You just stopped listening.
Jay, you got a
You said
friend. I'm
you
like,
got
oh,
a friend.
lonely. I got no friends.
You just sitting there. And you
Like,
sitting there. When you sitting there, I can't. I need a prop. I don't have a
like
prop
Toy
here. I
Story.
don't have
Like, I
yes,
literally, I know.
that's it right there. Hey, be careful. You
Woody.
guys can you see? Can you see? You gotta be careful. He's in the house. He's looking at you. What are you talking about? Don't talk about what's my favorite movie. So, yeah, my daughter got me that. Anyhow, go ahead. So you
Cute.
had this big old box of tissue
Oh, yeah.
and you
Yeah.
were
No, I couldn't cry. I was still
ruminating.
numb.
You were still
Yeah.
numb, ruminating
Hmm.
on
Wallowing in
his
my
behavior,
misery.
wallowing. Okay, that's the
Hmm.
best way. Wallowing in your misery, but you moved away from that. But it's a reality that people need to know exists, and they should not feel this overwhelming shame because of it.
Right. It's
Right?
natural. It's normal. Yeah. That's how you're feeling.
Okay.
You're in it. So allow
Okay.
yourself to be in it, but then there's a time to move out of it. And I believe that's why I've gone to so many concerts in the last year and a half. A Jelly Roll,
So
like, I'm not there,
for
like,
you, it was a
it was
concert.
healing
It was healing.
concerts.
Somebody
Yeah,
else's exercise, yoga,
could
or other
be
things,
yeah,
taking
could be
trips. Everybody's
exactly,
got
going for
their
a
thing.
walk.
Go for a walk,
Yeah,
but yours was making sure you change your playlist
mhm, yeah, big time.
and then becoming a concert bunny.
That's right, that's right.
Guys, we're talking over the past year, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to this concert, and then I'm going to this concert." And I'm
I
thinking,
forgot them all.
and it's
What is
like,
she
"Oh,
doing?
I don't." Well, no. Here's the kicker, everybody, and we see you, Flyer. I got your question. We're gonna put it up in just a second, so we'll get right to your question. Then she's telling me, everybody, she doesn't have to pay for the ticket.
No, not many of them.
Look at the look on her face. She's going like, I just got it like that. She just
That's it.
see, she just bat her eyes, and she just got
Like, thank
tickets,
you.
concert tickets falling from the sky.
Falling
Just
from the
concert ticket. I'm
sky.
going like, how do you make this stuff happen? You just got it rolling like that. Okay, you got a question for you from the chat.
Question, please. What do you do when you're being stalked? Oh my goodness.
Now we need Leon
Oh.
for sure, because he used to do the stalking.
Mm.
He loves talking about being stalked, and when he was stalking, when he was doing his narcissistic thing and stalking his ex-wife and exes.
I remember
Yeah,
him speaking of that.
yeah, he found that very disgusting, that behavior, by the time he came out of that with a lot of therapy and other stuff. But very, very
Creepy.
dangerous. Yeah.
Dangerous.
So when I'm gonna go back here with Flyer's question and Calibri, I hope, and if I said it wrong, please correct me. I'm horrible on names sometime, but I know Flyer part is right. Mia's got something for you. Again, Mia has a book out. Everybody, please go to Amazon. It's only on Amazon. It's called Stepping Out of the Darkness into the Light. Stepping Out of the Darkness into the Light. And Mia has a tip for you, or empathy for you. Just be very careful of what you are doing. Give us some more information in regards about being stalked and what you're going through, so that others that will read this back later, or that are from our community here, will be able to kind of relate even more to what you're talking about. But what do you do when you're being stalked? Go right ahead. Any thoughts that you got there?
Well, I went through a situation when I was living in my RV. He actually did this to me for years, which is bizarre. And the first time I found a tape recorder, I didn't think much of it. I I don't know why I didn't act on it or whatnot. It was, he probably had some weird excuse, but him and his girlfriend at the time had a 24/7 live surveillance feed in my RV. So I was being stalked.
Mhm.
I was being recorded. And then, I mean, I told you a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
he still keeps his PO box in town so he can come by and see me. Um, when I used to leave the house, when I used to like take off to like save my life, when I used to
Yeah.
run,
Mhm.
I'd stay at a friend's or stay here and there. He'd always find me. He'd
Yeah.
always find me. So yeah, you have to be extremely careful. I would keep records of everything, times, places. If are you away from him or her? Are you with this person? You know, my ex called me every morning. Oh, I got the constant phone calls too. They're constantly checking in on you. What are you doing? Where are you? Yeah. Definitely keep a record of it.
Yeah,
Let authorities know.
I'm going to go ahead and at least put this in the chat. Everybody can take a look at it. Hopefully it'll let me do it here. I'm going to hit this button. If you look at the chat, let's see if it does it. If it takes it. Yeah, it took it. So there's a link for if you're being stalked. There's some information there. If you like, Flyer, you can always just give me a second. I'm maneuvering some things here.
Yeah. I mean, I would suggest you call authorities, obviously,
Yeah, I'm about to.
immediately. And also, I mean, if you wanted to ever vent about it or talk about it or, just get it off your chest. I mean, so many people, you tell someone this, they're stalking me or they're recording me. People don't necessarily believe it because who does that? It's
Well, we don't as a whole, we don't think like
we
that person
don't
that's doing the
understand it,
stalking.
but
Yeah. But we
it's happened
need
to
to
me.
believe people
Yeah.
when they say it, and not just think it's a figment of their imagination. One of the things, if you were just on a simple aspect, to everyone listening, just typing in "what do you do when you are being stalked" into Google, it says if you are a victim or a survivor of stalking, We recommend connecting with a local victim service provider who can help you plan for your safety, discuss legal options, and connect with your additional services. The Victim Connect hotline can help connect victims with local providers. I put into the chat the article, The Stalking Prevention, Awareness, and Resource Center. I put their link so that you can contact them, Flyer. But one of the things that we need to be mindful of when a person is being stalked is what an actual stalker themselves, what are they scared of? What are they afraid of? Stalkers see themselves as the victims of being led on or toyed with. That's in their own twisted mind. Their fear of abandonment doesn't allow them to reason, so it's impossible to let them down easy. So make sure you surround yourself with enough people so that the point is made that they need to back off and leave you alone. Don't feel any shame. Don't take this upon yourself. Make sure you surround yourself and get a bubble of protection. And I like what you mentioned in this article from the Victim Connect hotline, stalker prevention. They say the same thing. Awareness is the key. So making sure that you talk to as many as possible is very, very important. Is everybody still there with me? I'm sorry, I got off screen there. I couldn't see everybody. If anybody's putting something up, let me go back to that. Everybody, give me a second. Mia says, you there, Susie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mia says, my ex called me every morning to make sure I was home from work. I work third shift. I didn't dare do anything with men specifically. Yeah, they're like obsessed. They're completely obsessed. It's controlling every move you make, checking in on you. Mia says, and now the victim has to record when they are being abused, so there is proof and a trial. Yeah, definitely record what you can. Keep records, times, days, places. Definitely call authorities. Keep yourself safe. I stopped going out at night. Always lock my doors.
Mhm.
Dr. Mack, I remember when I moved, his biggest concern was my safety.
Yeah.
Biggest concern. To this day, he checks in on me, and he went so far that he did a FaceTime because I still wasn't 100%,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and with both places, a studio and here, I had to FaceTime and go around to the doors, locks. That's how big, because he knew I still couldn't be that responsible for myself. I didn't do the
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't there yet. Took time.
Yeah.
So
And the reality is he was right.
absolutely.
To go through the
But I was,
FaceTime part, make sure you had everything locked up, make sure you were now going beyond just getting hair done, those parts of self-care.
right.
You were becoming your own protector.
Yes.
Men have a very beautiful way that they can show love. And essentially, as my dad say, you only got 3 jobs as a guy: protect, provide, and guide. And you got to know when you're overstepping the boundary. And now that person, as we said earlier, now you're trying to control that person. A stalker is trying to, whether twist it in their mind, positive thinking or not, they're trying to overstep their boundary. Led on or not, it doesn't matter. They're overstepping their boundary. And Flyer, I give you a lot of credit for at least talking about it, mentioning the fact that he has. That jumped. I got to bring this back here. Hold on a second. He has enablers and spy on you,
Mhm.
and now you know who they are. Let me put this up
Yes.
here. You can read that for me, please.
Flyer says, since I didn't give into his whims and I said no to his asking me to help him move some furniture, he started to stalk me. Yeah. This male narc complained, Flyer continues, to me not getting any kind of sex from his female partner one day.
And
Yeah.
go ahead. You were going to say. Go
No,
ahead,
was that
please.
an ex-husband? What was he? a friend, a boyfriend. Yeah, that they give too much information about others. That's always a telltale sign
I
too.
was just about to say that. Go ahead.
Mm,
We're thinking the
yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
I remember with my ex, I heard all about his ex-wife. He had 3 wives before me, by the way. You think I would have known, but
Oh.
I was 28 and really not thinking clearly yet. But yeah, the stalking thing.
I wanted to touch on something.
Definitely.
When you get a
Go on.
moment, I'm going to stick in there
Mhm.
something that I
Yeah.
just from Google. It says, "What are the stages of stalking?" Phase 1: unwanted contact. Stalker tries to woo the victim in some kind of way, to have contact with them or touch them in some kind of way, some kind of unwanted way. Getting too close, entering that individual space, male or female, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, right now it just popped in my head. No, many of you may have not seen the movie. It's old movie. It may not have a rating that you want to see now, because now they changed the rating. It used to be a simple movie you could just watch. It's called Play Misty for Me, with Clint Eastwood, and it's about stalking actually, which is really crazy. And that's kind of the case. The unwanted contact is something that the stalker wants to initiate first to see what direction they can go in. Phase 2 is escalation. Stalkers begin to use more intrusive behavior. In phase 3, which is why it's very important to make sure that there's an awareness of what's happening in your world, instead of "no one's going to believe me," make someone believe you. Be as loud with this noise and getting attention as possible. Because phase 3 is violence. It's put out here in an article, information from a website called Stalking, Canyon Country. Violence. Stalkers resort to more violence when they feel rebuffed. So their behavior needs to be pointed out to others, without a doubt. You were going to say something, please. Let me get back to the chat. I'm in a different screen here. If you can hear me
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm just catching up.
Let me put some things over here. Where am I here? Everybody's been typing fast, and I got to catch up to everybody.
Well, part of stalking was also, I think Flyer said it, having someone else call me, check in on me, pretend they
Yes.
want to see how I'm doing. Oh,
Mhm.
I got a phone call. I got 2 phone calls about 2 weeks ago from a relative of his. "What are you up to? How are you?"
Really?
I'm like, "Oh, yes. Yeah, I didn't tell you that part." Yeah, last summer, he would call all the time. I'm like, "What is this person actually, he doesn't care about me. He's a spy."
Oh man,
Yeah.
I wish I could put my finger on the song that I popped into my head right now. I got some spy music, and I wish I should have had that ready for you. But he's a spy, huh? Like Tom,
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Cruise on you. He's just,
Mm,
"Hey, so what you doing?
yeah,
you,
like he really cares.
you still alive?"
Yeah.
That's when you keep them on red. So I was gonna
Mhm.
just
Exactly.
because they
And they
want
always
something.
call
They want something.
no no caller ID.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, no caller
Reconnaissance.
ID, unknown number, you know.
Yeah. Right now, if you had to say, what would be some of the information, if we could wrap this up in a nutshell, what would be the information you would give to someone that is being stalked? Point 1, 2, and 3, just from your experience, just talking, your lived experience, and in coaching people, what 3 things you want to say to somebody before we move on to another subject in regards to stalking, if they're being stalked?
Yeah, definitely number 1 is contact authorities for your safety. For me, uh it was a violation. I felt very violated,
Hmm.
especially with the surveillance cameras that I didn't know about in my living quarters.
Yeah.
That was that took a toll on me.
That's
So,
crazy.
you know, there are things today, and if they're out, if these people can get into your house, especially once you
I knew you were going to say
don't
that. Get into your
know.
house. Yeah, that's creepy,
I
man.
had a
That's crazy.
situation
Crazy,
last
crazy.
summer, and it was a person that was friends with him that
Mm-hmm.
came over,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that person left spy equipment in my house, unbeknownst to me, and everyone started. It was weird. It was weird. I don't know how I know how she did it, but I don't know what they did with this information and twisted and took things out of context. And it was really challenging for me. I definitely had a little breakdown over that. It reminded me of what he did. So, you know, don't let these people in your house, in your car. There are ways to check for these things. There are people you can even hire if you have the money. If not, there's little devices you could buy off Amazon that will let you know if someone's listening to you or has a GPS on your
That's
car.
true. Yeah.
Definitely let people know where you are if you go anywhere alone, or you know, don't let them know, like we said in these keys here, the 10 of them, don't let them know your plans, don't let them know your business. Keep your private life private, keep yourself safe.
Oh, wait,
Let
hold on one
someone
second.
know.
Wait, hold on one second. I forgot. We only got to number 6.
Oh,
I'm sitting here and I'm
shoot.
just, wait a
We're
minute.
like,
Hold on a second. Okay, so number 6
avoid
was
arguing.
avoid,
Avoid
avoid
arguing.
arguing.
Okay.
And then, oh God, then number 7
There's
was,
so much
go
to
right
talk
ahead.
about. Number 7 of the
Uh,
10 keys are keep your plans to yourself. That's for stalking too, right? Keep your plans to yourself. Don't let them know your business. Keep your private information private. The less they know about your life, the less they know about you, the
absolutely.
less power they have over you. So
That's
protect your
right.
peace, protect your privacy.
It's better to be considered rude instead of being ran over by a narc because they're in your business. Go ahead. Or they're flying monkeys. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go, the flying monkeys. So keep your plans private. Number 8 is don't feed their egos, right? They want to be the center of attention. They want all the praise and
Yep.
admiration.
They want to say the controversial things that will get that response, and then if you bite on it, they'll just keep it coming. So it happens. It happens in what we do, right? When we get to people make comments or in the chat or whatever, they love saying those little things that seem, I want to see if they will say it, the controversial things, and have these arguments and fights. Don't fall for it. Don't feed their ego. You were going to say number 8 or number 9 or whatever you're going to do.
Number 9 is instead of trying to fix or change them, focus on yourself. This is, besides getting away from them, this is the most important. Take care of yourself. Stop focusing on them. I know you have to keep the peace, keep the kids safe, keep yourself safe, but work on yourself. Even if you do it secretly, start taking care of yourself, start reading, start,
Eating
educating
right.
yourself,
Yes.
eating right,
Talking about
getting some
things
fresh
other than
air,
narcissism, having
listening
certain
to
places
happy
that,
music.
yes, yeah. Change your playlist.
It's little things, little tweaks.
Get a foot rub or buy a machine
There you
that give
go.
you the rub, whatever you got to do.
Get a massage.
Making sure, yeah, I was going to say it. You beat me
I
to
know.
it. I was going to leave it alone this time. I was going to do like the last show. But I can still put it up there though.
You can. I know.
SUZIE needs a
No.
massage. No, just anyhow. But what I was going to say is,
One day.
I got a few people got a kick out of that when I typed that in there. I can't believe Paxton, you put that in there. I'm like, she needs a massage. Maybe somebody in Connecticut will donate it. But when it comes to this number 9, we may need to talk about it some more another time, everybody. But how are you being able to focus on your well-being? What are some things you're doing that can help those within the chat or in the community? Feel free to, if you don't do it now, when we get with you another time, feel free to share, or feel free to write me and share, or SUZIE, and we'll make it a part of a future show. We are going to focusing on your well-being in another show because it involves something different for each person. And so if you've been abused, if you're dealing with PTSD, if you're dealing, did I say that right? PTSD, yeah. That's it, right. So if whatever you're dealing with, if you're finding something that's working and it's working right now, feel free to share it, because it's easy to point out the person, quote unquote, we feel is the problem or the situation. It's another thing to make the planet a better place by giving tips, tools, and strategies that people can implement. And now it's not just you getting better, but others are getting better too. That was number 9. Focus on your own well-being. I want to thank everybody for being here on NATV Network and supporting SZTV Network, our 2 networks coming together once a month. We're going to get to number 10, and I will get to the chat in just a second. SUZIE, go ahead and take over number 10.
Number 10 is know when to walk away, right? The most important thing, get away from them, cut them out of your life, work on yourself, better yourself, strengthen yourself, and worry about your mental health. They break us down mentally. So They know our weakness. They know the kids, they can get to us, cutting ties with them, cutting ties with their anyone who supports them, all their flying monkeys is the key for me to starting my self care journey, right? My self-worth journey. It took cutting everyone out and just being left alone
Yeah.
to myself to figure out who
Mhm.
the heck I was and to completely recover, which takes time. Mia says, be careful of what you are given. Don't know if there is something in it. Oh, yes, that too. When I first started with the women's group, the facilitator told me don't eat anything in the house because I had a lot. That's another thing, the health problems. I was in the hospital about 22 times, I think I counted over those years.
Oh my goodness.
We're talking back surgeries,
Wow.
gallbladders out with weeks at a time, weeks and weeks at a time. So don't eat, food from them. If someone's stalking you and they bring you a sandwich, I wouldn't eat the sandwich. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
a cup of coffee.
No.
I just, if you're going to be stalking me,
Yeah. Don't even don't even take it. You know, the part about what they told you from the women's shelter about being in the house, um, so many guests came on here on this platform and talked about that. And
I
when
used to
they were
itch.
talking about it, I was sitting there going like, and people actually do that kind of stuff. I really, that's how naive I am. Going like, seriously, like totally. I know in the movies, but it's like they were like, Paxton, this is real. This stuff happens to people. But it's hard to maybe for someone to wrap their brain that that person would go that direction in life. But they see you as a piece of property to them that no one else should have. So you have to be really careful with that. So get all the numbers you need to have that will lead towards your safety. Get all the hotline numbers you need. Set up a set up a playlist too, by the way. But set up a list, a safety list of people that you can stay in contact with, or if they see that they don't hear from you for a while. You mentioned the to go bag or having a go bag, and so did I think Mama Bear.
Yeah,
I think right in the chat
I think Mia.
and Mia as well. So very important. All those things. You showed us your bag. You don't have it there nearby. Still, do you? I'm just curious. Do you?
Oh,
You know.
I
Okay.
have it
No, I
right
was just
here.
wondering. But I know
All
you
right.
did on the last live show we
Yeah.
did with Dahlia. You showed the bag. Why is it important? The bag.
Because you want to keep if you need medication, like I take thyroid medication, when you
Mhm.
have to run, things got so bad, I had to escape. So it's one less thing you have to worry about is to always have your bag ready. Always your important documents,
Mhm. Mhm.
a copy of anything important.
Yeah.
I used to have a little throwaway flip phone because how
Mm.
many times did you break my phone? Take my phone.
Wow.
Always take my phone.
Crazy.
Yeah, and a change of clothes. I used to live like Mia was saying when I first met them. I was living out of my car. I'd sleep in Walmart parking lots
Mm.
because the lights were always lit, and I know they let campers come in. You know what else I had to do is I would admit myself into the ER because I
Mhm.
didn't be in a panic attack. And how many times they got to know me, they would let me stay if they had an
Hmm.
extra bed, they would let me
Wow.
stay until the morning. Because if it was like in the middle of the night, I had no car. Sometimes I would walk. Sometimes I would be in the woods. Sometimes I'd have my Jeep, but it was just something that I always kept by the bed. I felt like I had some kind of control by
Yeah. Yeah.
having this little bag.
Mia's got something for you.
If you have to get out fast, you need to take things with you and stash away money. Yes. Financial abuse. How many times did he, and I know I've said this before, shut the bank accounts and I'd
Mm.
be left with nothing. You can't, even if you have an extra card in there,
Mm. Mhm.
they shut that bank account or empty it.
Mhm.
He'd liquidate the bank accounts all the time. So definitely put a little money away.
On the financial abuse aspect, you touching on it here. You've mentioned it before. That is something people need to take seriously. That it can happen to them, and if it's already been happening to you, that's a pretty good pattern. They're letting you know they'll do it anytime they want to make sure they'll go into the account authorized or unauthorized, and make sure you at least can access. I don't care if it's $5. They want to make sure you know that they can hurt you. And so you need to keep Mia's words to heart. If you have to get out fast, Mia writes in the chat, you need things to take with you and stash away money. And you may not be able to take a lot, but whatever you take is going to be sufficient for you to get to safety. Just make sure that you are prepared. We are always thinking and talking about you, Susie and I, and others that are part of the channel, and are always looking for ways to make sure we put on shows that give you specific instructions how to stay safe. Now, within your local areas, there are numbers that you need to get a hold of, but never underestimate. And I'm going to go back to something someone told me many moons ago, maybe a couple of years or more ago on the show. Make sure that the local police know you well. I don't care if you have to make them cookies or buy them donuts. Find a way to let them know, and you will be surprised once they know, even if it's the gentleman that spoke here flyer that's being stalked, whatever the case may be, the local police will make it a point. Hey, you know what? This lady gave me donuts, but she said she's having trouble with her husband. My shift is not over there, but when you're over there, just ride by and make sure she's okay and show presence and show your presence. And so please keep that in mind. There are ways that you can do things that others can't control, abusers can't control. Making sure the police know you very well in your local area, especially if they're sitting somewhere having something to eat. Just let them know your address, give them your phone number. They may want to call you periodically, or someone from a certain department may call you just to make sure you're safe. You need as many people as possible in your corner. I'm sorry, I got on my soapbox. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. This is my channel, doggone it. All right. Mia says it's another way to keep you there when it comes to the money aspect. What?
Mia is not her name on the book. It's Marianne.
Oh, okay. I was going like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Okay. But it has a rose in the center of it. Okay. And the name of the book again, if you get it before
Out
me,
of the darkness into the light.
Something like it's
out of the dark.
Mia, just keep typing it. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mia. I don't have it in front of me.
Just keep typing it every now and then. So if anybody new comes into the chat, just go ahead and put it in there. And next time I'll make sure. Just send me something if you can. Or between you and Susie,
I have
I
it
need a
in the other
graphic.
room.
I can make a graphic so that I can make it a part, and we'll advertise it for you, Mia.
I'll take a photo.
And it won't cost you a dime, but you can always become a member of the channel at $5.99. That's under $100 for the whole year, and you'll be a part of a lot of great stuff. So Mia, yeah, we'll be glad to put you as something on the channel. Advertise it to everybody when we're making. There it is. Stepping out of the darkness into the light. So Mia, make sure you put whatever marketing stuff you got, and Rhythm Entertainment 85 at gmail.com. Rhythm Entertainment 85 at gmail.com. Why am I saying it instead of typing it? I'm going to type it while Susie talks.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. That's a lot of people need to read this book, especially her what she speaks about in the book. I did skim through it, and she did speak about it at the women's group, but it's her abuse that took place within her family growing up. So it's not even her narcissistic abuse. But what happens, and in my case, is the abuse started in our childhoods, right? It's kind of like we went through some stuff as kids, and I think I think she would agree with me. That's kind of what took our self-esteem away, I believe. And it sets us up for these kind of relationships. So yeah, but there you have it. 10 effective steps to outwit a narcissist. Remember that narcissists thrive on manipulation and control, but by using all these strategies that we went over today, right? These 10 steps, you can stay one step ahead of them. And that's key. Stay a step ahead, protect your energy, set your boundaries, and don't let anyone diminish your self-worth. Yeah.
My weird hand movements means I'm happy that we were able to share this information with each and every one of you. but I'm more excited about the fact that you were able to share tips that work for you in your life with everyone. rhythmentertainment85@gmail.com. Mia, send me something if you can. I'll turn it into something so I can put it in our other videos and other shows. We'll be happy to promote your book. The only thing I ask of anyone passing through is to spend at least 10 minutes a week on our channel. Okay, when we do a live show, we're only looking for 5 people to show up. We got 11 right now. We're ecstatic. We want to be able to literally be able to spend time with you. We're not trying to have 2,000 or 3,000 people or 50 billion people watch one video and go viral. That means totally nothing to us. And technically, when that happens to people's channels, do you really even get a chance to really talk to that person? So we want you to be able to do what you're doing right now and talk to us. Mia says, what? Yes, it started with a relative when I asked
But she was a
when she
young
was,
teen.
yeah, I get what she's saying. Yeah, when she
Yeah.
was a young teen. So these kind of discussions is what we're trying to make sure you have. Not listening to some cookie cutter person tell you the same thing over and over that every other channel is saying, but being able to discuss tips and tools that you can put in your toolbox of recovery, and you can go beyond healing through NATV. You can go beyond healing. You heard me right. You can recover. And you can reset everything, and you can start to look forward. And when those terrors of the night and nightmares start to happen, come back over to us, and we can discuss those too. Right, Susie?
Yes, absolutely.
You've experienced that. You know
I've
what that was.
experienced them. Yeah. It's no
Yeah.
joke. Susie, send that to me, please. I can't write it down right now. The email for Rhythm. Yes, I will.
Yeah, you
I'll
take
send
care
it
of
to you.
that. Okay. I
Yes.
need, you know what I need, Susie. I mean, whatever you
Yep.
can get from her,
Mhm.
so that I'll put something together. I'll make a commercial for you that we can play here on our channel so we can tell others about your book. But at some point, Mia, what'd she say? What?
Send me that, please. Oh, I
Oh,
don't know.
Satara. No, she's talking about the nightmares and stuff.
Yeah. Just look
Yeah,
at them.
we touched
I've
on it,
been-
but we are going to need to do a show on it at some point because I have a few people that have mentioned it in the chat as well. Excuse me, the comment section on other videos to do a show about it. And I told them yes, but I haven't done it yet. But we can talk about that because some people are where you, Susie, have already passed certain things. They're still just now embarking on
Right.
that part. And again, everybody, I don't know anything about it. I'm just a man with a mic with 2 gorgeous daughters, and we put on these shows, but we rely on Susie, Mia, and others. And many of you, the people you watch or that you like to follow and subscribe, feel free to tell them, you know, if they want to be a part of the show, that's fine. But tell us what you're learning and share it with the community here on NATV Network. We really appreciate it. Susie, we both got to go. I heard my daughters come in. I've got my studio door open, so I know they're down there because I can hear them downstairs. And it's kind of like movie night, so I better go and get my popcorn on. Everybody, truly appreciate it. Susie, by the way, everybody, please leave Susie alone. She has no need for you people right now bothering her. I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about?
I've been
What you
waiting to
talking
say
about,
that.
Willis?
What you talking about? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, we
Yeah.
should do that. We can talk about that one of these days. What I'm talking about is Susie likes her peace. So if you people full of drama, you need to leave Susie alone.
No, I'm here
Just
for
leave
you.
her. But yes, Susie needs you to call her if you're going through something. Write her, talk to her, all the above. Make sure you do that. What do you got here, gorgeous? I just love saying gorgeous. I love saying the word period. I call my daughters that.
It is a pretty
Gorgeous.
word.
Blessings. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Oh, look at that. Look at you. You got love in the room. You got love in the room.
Love you, Mia.
Everybody get ready because I'm about to, this is, we prepared a show, but we never have full scripted shows. So no telling what I'm going to do here at the end. I'm just going to mess with stuff here. Just bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing here. No, we're not going to play that. I'm just messing around. Hey, so Susie, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
You should never say
I
that to
get
me.
you.
You should never,
All right.
ever
Oh
say that to
boy.
me.
You gotta watch a movie.
I gotta tell you this. You still haven't watched that movie I told you about. I know you haven't. Called
Which
Princess
one?
Bride. Princess Bride. I got
don't-
2. I'm gonna put them in the chat in just a second.
Okay.
So here, I'll play with this song right here. Right.
I don't
on the
have.
way out. So check
I
this out.
only have
I'm gonna
Netflix
type.
right now.
I don't know. No, you can find it on you should be able to find it on YouTube or whatever. So
Oh,
anyhow, if you don't, that's okay. But here we go. I'm
watch
gonna
it
put this
tonight.
movie. God, I can type. Princess Bride. One of my favorite movies, plus it's a favorite family movie. Here it goes in the chat. It's going right now. And here's the other movie for you guys to check out. Brian's. This is a guy movie. This is a guy movie. So if you're gonna watch this movie that I'm putting in right now, please make sure you have a lot of tissue. Just make sure.
Is it Brian's song?
It will make you cry. So I gave you one movie that will make you laugh. That's Princess Bride. It may even make you cry. It has moments of romance in it. But that's a laughing movie. And if you're going to watch Brian's song, please make sure you have enough tissue to cry. Okay? All right? Oh, Mia, which one, Mia? I'm gonna do the chat. I missed a few people, so let me see if I get in here. Let me see. Ken.
Oh.
Much
Good
love
night,
for you,
Ken.
Good night.
Thanks for being here.
There's my movie recommendations for the weekend. I could keep going, you guys, but I'm not going to do it to you. Of course, I'll throw in one more in just a moment. And which one you talking about there, Mia? She says, I love that movie. Here, I'll give you guys one more. The third movie. Here we go. It just popped in my head. Now I'm going to keep going.
What you got?
Brian's song. She said Brian's song. Oh, man, tell me. Man, that movie.
I think I saw it years ago.
Every stinking time, man.
Yeah.
Every stinking time a movie gets me, and I try. I know when the parts to cry, and I go like, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so let's see. What was the other movie? Okay, so Princess Bride, Brian's song. Oh, man, I just got so many movies in my head. Oh, I had another one, and now I got it mixed up with the other ones. Okay, you guys. Oh, here we go. You guys can watch this one. You don't have to watch this one. You guys don't have to watch this one. I'm typing it right now. I'm typing it for those of you who are listening to the podcast. Okay, so 3 movies. I put them in the chat. Whether you watch them or not, it's totally up to you. But I want you to know, when you watch them, you get to know me a little bit better. That sounds so cheesy. That sounds like I got something that I should release to you guys at some point. I filmed it yesterday. My daughters don't even know this unless they're watching the show right now. I filmed something for to put out of me dancing and singing.
Oh, I got to see this. Are you going to show it?
It was, at some point.
Why don't you put it on as we end the show tonight?
No, it is not. No, not even close.
I think that's
there
a
will
good
be
ending.
some editing involved. But I do this exercise thing that I do where I just, I sing and dance and stuff like that. Just, burn some calories and stuff. And the other day I was testing equipment and I was late doing it. And I went like, you know what? Let me when I test equipment, I record so I can hear it back. You know how it is when you get equipment, we test everything, right? Well, I do that with myself, but I said, you know what? I'm going to test it by dancing and being goofy and listening to music, but you can't hear the music. It's just all you would hear is my voice. And that's the only reason why I'm debating whether to do it, because I'm not the greatest singer. I'm like not a great singer at all. So,
probably really good. I got to see this.
And so when I did it, I went like, I should totally post that. I should totally.
So you thought it was pretty good then?
No, being goofy. No, I just like being goofy. Like I tell you, every grown man is a little boy, and then there are some grown men that are just big bullies, and they're usually the narcissists. So ladies, try to find one that's just a little boy, but doesn't want you to be his mama, because that would be bad. As I tell my daughters all the time, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
So what do you got here? She put a few things in here. What she says. This was all. Oh, you're so sweet.
You were awesome. Thank you.
You survived it. You did the 10. And next time I'll tell them what you went through just to do the 10. And when we went over the information,
I practiced that line.
Hey, you're getting pretty good at you're getting pretty good at throwing a show together in a matter of moments. Even though we knew about the show a month or so.
I was like, he waited till a couple hours before just to. I know you have
I really did not.
Oh yeah, okay.
Seriously, I told you I've been editing your stuff and other people's stuff. And I got caught up into it. And then it's like, oh my goodness, I got to get the show for this morning. And by the way, everybody, if you're here, this is what we did this morning. And I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to show everybody right now. But this is who was here this morning, Dale Allen. Make sure you check her out. Her book, her movie is $12 behind a paywall. It'll be worth your money. Feel free to check her out. She was here earlier today. But right now, of course, the lady's here. You're here, right?
I'm here. I am.
I hit my playlist, everybody, that I use when I'm editing or just hanging out and doing stuff around here and getting shows ready. So I hope you love the music. If you don't, that's too bad. So here we go.
What was the third movie?
It's called His Girl Friday. It's
Oh, thank you.
With Cary Grant.
Okay.
So if you into black and white movies, I'm the guy for you because that's what I grew up on. So I'll throw in a bonus movie. Here's the bonus movie. If you want to laugh, it's a really stupid movie. You could check it out if you want. You could look at Chevy Chase. The movie is called Fletch. If you haven't watched it, knock yourself out. FLETCH. Hopefully you can find these on YouTube for free. If not, you'll find them through Netflix or other places or Prime Video, something like that. So we gave everybody here 10 strategies to look out for when you're dealing with a narcissistic person and how to outwit them, as it were, by being prepared. But I'm going to go back with something Susie said as she got down to number 9 and 10, I think it was. Do not make them the focal of your attention. Really. Do not make them the focal of your attention. If you've been doing that for a while, where really has it gotten you except into a community of people who are just angry or videos of constant anger? We hope you will shift or negotiate your way over here to NATV Network and SZTV Network, where we want to talk to you about recovery. So we're here for you. Use every tool that's available to you, but know that there's more to life than talking about narcissism. And don't let everybody make money off of you just because they're talking about it. Keep your money. Make the move to be happy. So, surprise to everybody. Susie and I went and did headshots together. Got some headshots, getting ready. You forgot already?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Aren't they great?
You guys,
Aren't they great?
You can do a thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you don't like mine, I don't know what to tell you because I really do look like that.
I was going to say, yeah, the resemblance is, I don't know about that one, no, Paxton. You couldn't do better.
Let me get some things off the screen here. Right? What'd you say? I think that's
the one
that
of
looks
you,
exactly
really?
like me. I really,
Yeah?
you're trying to say it doesn't?
I got to squint a little bit and see the resemblance.
What is it? Yeah, you better squint. You got to cover one eye to be trying to see it. What if Mia got something for us there? What was it again?
If you can put the list in the chat, people might be able to take a picture of it.
Yes, it is going to be in the chat. Thank you, Mia, for mentioning that. I appreciate that. It will be in the chat. I have prepared it, and I'm going to go back in after this clears YouTube's process. That takes about 3 hours. So if anybody ever wonders, so once we get done with the live, they will process the video to make sure everything is okay, and they don't have to take it down. It takes about 3 hours, and then everything will be there for you. So give it a little bit. Definitely if you wake up or take a look at this tomorrow, everything will be there for you. But the links to all this information will be there for you, and a couple of extra links will be in there for you. And that will be the standard for us, even more so as we continue to work together as networks. You will see that information there. Expect more shows, live shows, on Susie's channel, and we will make sure over here with us, you will know more about live events that Susie and I and others will be a part of, that you'll be able to either buy a ticket, register, or again, if you're a member of the channel for $5.99, you're already in because you will be a regular member of the channel. So please exercise that ability. You can cancel at any time. Be a member just for one event. Also, please keep in mind with Susie's merch, I like what Gorgeous says. Thank you very much. See? Thank you, Gorgeous.
You're right.
I
That's
appreciate that.
I'm being a little too critical.
Yeah, look at you. You styling. Look at that. I took her picture and put it in something, and it gave me that. So I was like, okay, all right. I put my picture in, and it gave me that. So I said, okay.
No, really?
No, it didn't. I'm
Really?
just messing with you.
Okay, I was
I'm a
gonna
horrible
say.
liar. I can't lie. It's bad. So anyhow, so when it comes to Susie's merch, it applies the same for us as well. If you want to donate to the channel, buy a piece of merch, give it to someone else, wear it yourself, take a picture of it so we can use it and put it in a show, whatever it may be. But feel free to buy some merch once a year. Just once a year. Just once a year, buy some merch. For my channel, us here at NATV Network, 10 minutes, like I said, a week is what we'd like you to do. We're kind of hanging out right here, and I'm torturing you, Suzie, but I got a bunch of stuff. I did for you. Here, let's see. Here we go.
Can't wait.
Everybody ready for this? Everybody ready for this?
Oh boy.
I told you I was doing stuff. Oh wait, let me give you this one first. I'm gonna give you something else first. Here we go. There you go. That's the
Oh,
full
like
picture.
the books.
That's the,
I can finish school now.
I asked it to put, did the prompt
Oh, really?
thing,
That's
the
what you
AI
got?
prompt thing, to put books and stuff like that, and polka dots. I just thought polka dots would go well, and that's what it gave.
That's cool.
I have 5 altogether, but I picked that one.
I like
So one of these days I'll show you the other 4.
Okay.
But it gave me that, and I went like, okay, that'll work. That's cool. You'll see this particular image for Suzie on Instagram on our NATV radio page, because if you go over and follow our NATV radio page over there, Suzie and I are going to have radio shows there, and you'll be able to check those out. And I'm not going to tell you any more than that. You'll find out. But if you go to NATV Radio, you'll see this picture as a profile picture, because Susie's going to go over there and dominate and interview people, and we're going to do a bunch of other stuff. But here's the picture. I did this one, and I was tired last night. I was tired last night. And when I saw it, I went like, I'm so going to do that. And
I gotta see this.
This is for all of you that have not subscribed to Suzie's channel. This image should be burned in your head. You should feel bad. Look at that look.
Oh
she's
my
giving
gosh.
you. If you don't subscribe, that's what she's gonna say to you. You better subscribe to her
I
channel.
better. I'm waiting for you.
That's right.
Wait.
You show your
Hey,
love.
don't make me
people.
come get you.
Don't make.
Don't.
No, go get them. You really go
Yeah.
get them. That's what you should do.
Come
Just
bring
go
you
get 'em.
over.
Just go.
That's it.
I'm going to tear you up if you don't.
It's like how he's
subscribe
talking to
my
the kids.
channel.
What'd you say?
I got a
What'd
whole
you
bunch
do?
I got it. That's actually funny. This is like threatening. You're just threatening.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, don't
Well,
go anywhere.
they're children. I said my children.
Yeah.
When they were when they got to that talk backstage,
really,
they were actually pretty good. My
Man,
kids
I
are
would
very
love to-
good.
I would love to see you and hear the talk backstage.
I was strong. I was a strong mom.
Everybody needs to consider the option you have out of all the channels, not just here in ATV Podcast and Live and all the above network. Go over to Suzie's and spend at least 10 minutes a day. Forget that week thing. 10 minutes a day and check out what she's got there, or at least spend some time over on her channel. Help her with her watch hours. Help her channel to grow so that YouTube knows to share it with more people. Subscribe to her channel. Truly appreciate it, everybody, doing that. It is not about us. It's about what we can do for you. Please make sure you know and tell your friends, share it with a friend. When you come here, it's a little awkward and different, but it's just what we want you to have. We want you to not forget us at doing these podcast shows for you. Make sure you check out all of our merch. Feel free to get merch from our store, her store, at her locations, if you feel like donating. If for some reason you feel confused and you don't know what to do, we thank you, Flyer, for your question about stalking tonight. But whatever you're going through, remember, there are certain things you need to look out for. And Suzie has no idea I'm about to do this to her, but I've been waiting to do this to her tonight. And here we go. Suzie, I normally do advice for the audience on the way out.
Oh boy.
I'm not doing that tonight.
Okay.
What 10 signs should people look for to make sure they're not in a narcissistic relationship?
Oh, should I recap?
Yes,
Recognize.
you got it. I didn't even have to tell you. Go
No.
ahead. You caught it. You're good.
Yep.
We've been doing enough shows together. You caught me just like that. That's good. Go ahead.
There you go. Well, you want to recognize the signs of narcissism. You don't want to take the bait. You want to set clear boundaries for yourself. You want to stay emotionally detached from them. Don't let them get your goat. Don't let them trigger you. You want to use logic, not emotion, when dealing with them. You want to realize that arguing with the narcissist is a lose-lose situation. So don't argue with them. Number 7 is keep your plans to yourself. Keep your private life private. The less they know, the easier your life will be. especially when you're trying to get rid of them, try to get out of that relationship. Number 8 is don't feed their ego. It just boosts them up. It gives them, it empowers them. 9 is instead of trying to fix them, focus on yourself. Worry about yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Prioritize yourself, your emotional well-being. And number 10 is know when to walk away. Cutting ties with them is the best thing you'll ever do for yourself. Trust me, I had to do it, and it was the best decision. As hard as it was, with the right support, you can do it. And remember to please stay strong and stay empowered and protect your peace. And thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Yep. That was deliciously good. Everybody will get that information in the description of this video and a whole lot more. We thank you, Suzie, for sharing these personal parts of your life. We want everybody to know that we are just getting started. Time for us to go. All right, look, Suzie.
Yes.
Didn't have to do the horses, but you had to be with me instead.
Mm-hmm.
You missed the horses?
I have been feeding a lot this week. I love them tremendous.
I've never heard you answer about the horses with such a pause.
Because
you were all over the horses when you first got there.
Well, it's kind of chilly up here now, and it gets dark early.
And you don't know who's out there could be stalking you.
And yeah, well, I need to get one of those little headlamps, because it's pretty dark.
You need like those police lights, the flashlights, the big ones that they have in the movies or shows where like 500 feet ahead of you, you can see.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need one.
That dark and bad out there. All right, everybody, we appreciate each and every one of you. Suzie, I will talk to you whenever. I know you are going where? Somewhere home this weekend. Yeah. Not that you wanted to say. Thought about it. Maybe we just
went through that. Yeah.
Maybe
we don't
really want to tell everybody. But anyhow, so you are going to go have some fun this weekend, and I'm always happy when you're going to go have fun. And thank you for all the messages you send, letting me know you're okay and having a good time and stuff like that. She never does that, you guys. She never even talked to me when we.
Thank you for checking in.
So,
yeah.
Hey, gotta check. I just did Crystal the other day. I had to make sure that she wasn't swept away in Florida.
Hey, oh my goodness!
I just talked with her the other day, making sure that she's still alive and not washed away. Everybody, we appreciate you. I'm gonna be jamming on the way out. So whether you're sitting on your couch and your dog's watching you, whatever it is, you got to go to SZTV Network and you got to lock in and get her merch. Once a year, people, just buy something once a year. Keep her going and coaching the women in the shelters. Of course, do the same with us and share your time and energy with us 10 minutes a week. Or if you want to get some merch, feel free to do that as well. Main thing is, come on back to us after you go to everybody else. Suzie, I'll see you in just a little bit, or I'll talk to you next time. All right?
Bye-bye.
There we go. I'm going to say, you got to say your goodbye to everybody. Yeah. You went to concerts, man. You ain't nothing but a concert queen. Suzie's going to be a big part of NATV Radio. What does that mean? That means we're going to go over there to Instagram and go back and dominate where we got started. We are having fun every step of the way. We are the alternative to everything else you've experienced from 2020 till now when it comes to narcissistic abuse. You want to feel better? You want to feel better about yourself and not always talk about the narc? We are the home for that. Narcissistic abuse awareness is here, but recovery is the name of the game. Mia's got something up there for you.
Ta-ta.
Oh, man. I love you guys. We are not trying to have millions of subscribers and 50 billion whatever. We love it just hanging out with you guys and keeping it close and tight. Thank you for being our family.